So noisy tonight. Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to Transformers, the show. We've got loads coming up. We've got a discussion which is going to be about... so noisy, Alexis.
Right, Alexis, mute yourself.
That's going to be about all the leaks we've heard about. There's third-party leaks and Hasbro leaks coming up. Plus, we've got our top 5 bots from 1986, pickups, all that, and loads more. Let's do the bloody show. Let's just do it like an absolute bunch of men.
There's a magical place, we're on our way there, with toys in the millions all under one roof. It's called Toys R Us. Soon after bedtime, when dark nighttime falls, Jeffrey and helpers stock up all the shelves. From ceilings to floor, books, board games and bikes, teddies, puppets and dolls, beds, spaceships and trikes. There's millions, says Jeffrey, all under one roof. It's called Toys R Us, Toys R Us, Toys R Us.
Hello everyone, welcome to Transformers, the show. Loads coming up tonight. As always though, we're going to start off with some news. Quite a lot of news this week, and some more third-party news.
Oh, we're going straight into it. Yes, I knew we were going straight into it. That's why I prepared, and I'm certainly not... Oh no, I haven't prepared. Hang on.
What's your favourite football team?
Is it better if I do it like this? Like, is that like you just hear my voice?
Don't push too far forward. It's too loud. Do we want to discuss the wonderful Chelsea-Man United game last night, especially the last few minutes of it, which were hilarious? Or is that
So
me
funny.
being cruel?
And all the memes. That is the
The
memes
memes are
that's ever
endless.
happened in life.
Sorry to all the Man United fans, but not really sorry.
Who won?
It was
Chelsea.
your team, Chelsea. Because Alexis is a big Chelsea fan, as we all know.
I support United, actually. I
Of
used
course
to.
you do. Right, okay, I'm ready now. Sorry, delays.
I'm not ready. Sorry, not distracted. Not doing something else.
More filling.
Here is the news.
I jogged some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Oh, the news. Right, so obviously we knew Swoop was coming, and we got Swoop revealed at the weekend at WonderCon. So we finally got to see it kind of semi-officially. And there were photos from the time from WonderCon, but all I've done is actually just put in the kind of more official photos. So, thoughts, very brief thoughts. Don't turn it into we're here for half an hour. Brief thoughts on Swoop?
Sexy.
Frigid.
I
Frigid.
think
Don't know why I said that. It's quite good.
I think it's what we've all wanted and we've been delighted. And I've not actually read or heard many negative comments apart from the usual insane people, which I ignore.
You can have his fist out.
From other people, I've heard other people talk about what they're complaining about, saying something about the wingspan and stuff like that, or the fact is, that's going to be a QC nightmare, which I can see, but that's not to go against the toy in the way it's originally perceived by the designers, and it just looks amazing.
Yeah, I think it's good.
So you like it then?
Much complaints.
Yeah.
The short answer.
Quick summary. I would gladly murder you all just to get that toy.
And with good reason.
Yeah. No, a quote in the land would convict me.
I do. I'm not so sure about that part, but I have to admit I do like that photo of him with Snarl, because obviously they were the two that were created together later on. I think it looks really, really good. I hope it is as good as it looks.
He looks really chunky, actually. He looks quite chunky in that mode. Like if you look next to Snarl, I know he's in front of Snarl, but he looks quite chunky.
Yeah,
I
he's
guess,
decent size.
I can see what they're
one
saying
thing
about the
to say
wingspan. The wingspan's not massive, is it, on it? It doesn't...
More Microraptor than
Oh God! Don't start on the dinosaur conversation.
I will say one comment though, which is Swoop. There it
Alexis,
is.
have you ever heard of the Babel effect?
Great player.
He doesn't listen to hip hop.
Yeah.
You played for
Anyway.
Borussia Dortmund, didn't you?
Because
Moving
you're
on.
epitomising that right now, but look it up in Google.
Just stop encouraging.
You're
Right,
epitomising that
next
right now.
news. Let's keep going.
Sunstreaker, Studio Series Sunstreaker. We've got official photos now of them because they have all officially been revealed, even though some people have been able to buy them in the time that they weren't official, but they are official now. So
I think that could be upscaled to a sure shot. I honestly think with a head change,
Maybe.
you would almost have that.
That's the Bumblebee concept art Sunstreaker, because we never got it in the film, but somebody must have done some concept art. Double wielding there. We all like a bit of double wielding. Yeah, it looks all right. It's not really something I'll probably be picking up, but I can see a lot of people will.
I'm not picking it up because it's horrendous.
I like that. That's a quick review.
That should just be your review.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
And put an actual video up.
Yeah. Just literally that,
10
like
seconds
3
long.
seconds.
Yeah.
It's horrendous. Transformers the show.
Just to let the people watching know, Lexus is on holiday, which is
Yeah.
always a frustrating time for me. So he's dialing in with the shit Wi-Fi, and the sound quality is really piss pants, and there's people running in the background.
Yeah,
So
he's in his hallway.
Thank
Let's
you.
just be clear about this. He's actually in his hallway,
You're
which
not
is why
using
we
it.
keep.
I had my microphone.
can you put it near your mouth?
Not too near.
That's what he said.
Can you stop being
Name of
A little
yours.
bit too sexual. Right, Sideswipe, which just looks like the jazz toy from like 10 years ago.
I just
read
think
on
for the
slightly.
money they're asking, it's almost like they should be doing a hell of a lot more. That beat should have better engineering for a start. I think people deserve better than something that looks like a oversized McDonald's toy.
Yeah, it's not
I don't-
filling me with the desire to buy it.
And I think I could recognise that some people will think I've been unfair, and they're probably right. But I'm also thinking to myself,
No.
we're not getting any younger. We're getting old. We're going to die soon, especially Pete. We should be choosing the best thing.
God rest his soul.
Any
I agree with you
reason?
completely.
What, old age, or we're going to get
Mostly
murdered?
old age. Oh,
Old
look, it's
age,
Swoop again
of course.
with some more official photos. And he comes with 2 swords. So he comes with, I believe, the Grimlock sword that Grimlock
Yeah.
didn't come with. So you get Grimlock's sword. And he's looking all swoopy.
He looks amazing there.
And there he is in box. Open box. Back to the open box days. So you can touch them. Make sure you touch all the toys. Pass on those.
With your tongue.
illusions. Yeah. Well,
That's
lick
what
them.
she's
Yeah, lick
trying
your
to say.
toys. That's what Jamie
Yeah.
recommends. The elite.
Yeah.
Anyway, we love it. Oh, it's all up for pre-order. Everybody knows this, I'm sure already, but it all went up for pre-order on Thursday.
And
Some
sold out.
places had it before.
Sold out. Yeah.
Kapow! Anyway,
Kapow! Yeah.
nasty cough. There's that shockwave based on the film one. The movie
I've
one.
not actually ordered that, and I actually like that. So I've got to have an internal discussion with myself on why I've not ordered it. But I don't know. I just think because I've ordered the other 2 shockwaves, which are coming out, which is
Can't-
just one, I've ordered 2.
You can never have too many shockwaves in your life, to be fair.
But I think you can, because I
No, I said you
started to
can't.
realise how many Transformers and it's not like I've got duplicates anymore. It's not like I've got quadruplets of even non-popular Transformers, and I'm thinking, what? How did this happen?
Oh, dear me. There's the box anyway. And there's the 4 that you can buy.
But Swoop,
Right.
Swoop's the one everyone's happy for, isn't they? They're just
Oh, yeah,
delighted
Swoop's the
because everyone
excitement.
knew it was coming.
But we just didn't know when. This is the new Legacy United version of RID Sideburns. So they have remodeled it from the what's it called? The female one from Sideburns,
Frankenstein
something like
Bride
that.
one, the one who's
Yeah. They've remodeled it from that one, and some people have already suggested it suits him. Is it him? I think it's him more than it suited
It's
her
quite,
character.
yeah, it's quite authentic to the original mold, isn't it? And the alt mode's pretty spot on, they say.
Mm. These photos that you're looking at right now are by Sonic Bomber Core, so they've come from there. I don't know. I'm not particularly bothered. I'm not an RID fan, so this doesn't really wow me. But I know there's a lot of very happy fans of RID who are very
I would be getting this guy if he came up for order just to take a chance on him.
take a chance.
I'm
Let's get
gonna-
onto the real shizzle. So,
shit.
slightly more official photos of the Masterpiece and MPG versions of Power Master Optimus Prime, and this is where Graham will be teasing me about becoming a Masterpiece collector, because this is the kind of thing that might tempt me in. But I need to see more photos that don't have writing slapped all over the top of them. But it does look good.
Yes.
I mean,
I've already had a discussion on this last week. We were talking about what they did with Ultra Magnus, which is basically a downscaled masterpiece in many respects. And would they be doing this for this figure? Would they be downscaling it and we get a chugged version?
the MPG one seems to show that it comes with the cab and the kind of, the trailer that turns into the main body. Whereas the Masterpiece photos that I've seen so far, I've only shown the cab. So does that mean I'm sure somebody like Alexis will know as a masterpiece collector. Does that mean we're more likely to get the cab as a separate piece that you have to buy separately so that you can then merge them? Because that feels...
I was
That was a bit
hoping to
greasy
ask
to
that
me.
question. I was hoping someone else on the chat or the show might actually know the answer to that. 'cause
Oh,
I-
right.
but
Well, if anybody does
yes.
know, let us
They're
know.
both up for pre. They're
Yeah,
both up
because
for pre-order at the
Alexis is
same
going to be
price.
busy putting honey on. What's an MPG?
The G is a word, Japanese word that I can't remember, but it's basically, the trains that we got, the train bots.
Yeah.
They were MPG scale, which is smaller than the normal masterpiece scale, slightly bigger than Chugs, so you can kind of have them in your get the tape measure out, Pete. You can kind of have them in your Chug collection, but they might be a bit big, which I don't think would be a problem for Power Master Prime.
So what is Power Master Optimus Prime going to be MPG?
There's an MPG version and an MP version, is what we believe is coming.
So the MPG version is basically going to be Chug, because Power Master Prime was meant to be massive, wasn't he? In comparison to the other bots.
If they make it so it's basically like the original G1 toy was, but with obviously the articulation and everything, so it's not just a brick, I will buy it because I will find it very hard to resist.
The MPG version, that's what we're going
Yeah,
for.
the MPG. I think the masterpiece will just be a bit too big. It just won't fit in.
We
It'll
don't
be
want
like
to go up to masterpiece anyway. We don't want to
no,
open that door.
no. And I'm not getting into this conversation. If Gav is in the Gav B's in the chat, I'm not getting into this conversation about you could buy one masterpiece bot instead of buying 10, generations Chug ones. I could, but if my auntie had wheels, she'd be a bicycle. So let's not get into all that right now.
Lots of people
Anyway.
say MPGs.
Is that a gap in his thigh? Is that a gap in his thigh?
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you said, Paul, because this noise came out of nowhere.
I know, you just started shouting over.
Yeah, just start shouting. Paul's talking.
MPG is everything masterpiece. Is just the cab. There's someone saying it's Gatai, also giant.
Gatai, that's the word. I'm sure it is Gatai because I've heard it talked about on Triple Takeover, Paul. So I think that might be right.
Right.
That is a big question, Alexis. The thigh gap. Now, some people have said, "Hang on, if this is a masterpiece, but what the hell is that?"
Yeah,
some people have said it could be a black panel. Some people have said it might just be because it's not the finished thing yet.
Yeah, I think so.
We shall see. I would be very surprised if it's got a massive gap in there, but then again, I don't work for Hasbro or Takara. Right, so that's main line. Shall we?
All right, do the third
party up.
Let's party.
Battle this.
It's heavy metal cruncher time as Optimus Prime goes toe-to-toe with Combat Megatron. Prime is one tough dude underneath his hood. He's a transformer missile flying phenomenon. Combat Megatron is combat armed. His mighty mega missiles are slamming. He can mad out more for use mega force, but Combat Optimus is still standing.
So cool.
Word to your mother.
Gatai, Japanese combined. Yeah. Thanks, Robert Cop.
Cheers, Robert Cop. Right, DX9 then. They're back. Like Robot Cop. No, not Robot Cop. Robocop. Get his name right. Alexis, this is your area of expertise, isn't it? DX9.
Yeah, one of my favourite third-party companies. They're the last one of the best things they did was the MP Carry, the IDW Rodimus Prime, and they're back now with bots which haven't been released in 10 years. So with brand new molds, Bad Cube have a very good version of this, but this looks in renders very toon accurate, which looks very impressive. So
Sean Misselbrook done a really good render of it with toon colours. I think if you go to TFW 2005, he's put it up there.
Oh, nice! I didn't see those. If I had, I would have downloaded them and given him credit, probably, if I'd known he'd done. And then we're getting a Prowl.
We've seen this before. So people commented on the split chest because it makes a smaller chest. Make Toys Jazz did something similar as well. I think they did something similar to this as well. So everyone wanted to say, well, how do you do that with the emblem coming together and going apart again? So they've listened. They've got now a part where you put the emblem in, so you can actually have that adjustment. So they do this. TX9 actually do listen to the feedback as well, and so it's similar to the Make Toys Jazz version as well. There's the original MP. MP actually does have that version. Does have actually gaps at the back of the leg, open gaps, but it is like an MP from, as I said, 10 years ago, right? It's one of the first MPs that came out. So
I just hope, Alexis, you appreciate that even though the photos were in a different order, I made a special effort to make sure your photos that you'd put in with the comparison were there. So we're really on point because we're professional on Transformers, the show. And
do we get paid? Do we get paid?
No, I said we're professional. We're not paid. That's a different thing.
That's what professional means.
No,
paid
professionals.
You know that from rugby.
Fight! Right, no, let's not. Anyway, it looks quite nice for a Prowl. I mean, do you think it looks better than the Datsun that we're seeing there? More realistic,
So,
or more
Takara still do the best alt modes, hands down, right? They do they sacrifice the robot a lot though for the alt mode. We all know that,
right?
Across everything, right? Not so.
Right. Let's keep going. We've still not had any actual formal confirmation on this, and some people thought it was an April Fool's joke, but we've had no confirmation it was that. So this is based on the Eris mold, and they're turning it into possibly a Galvatron, which kind of looks cool. A little bit skinny,
so Eris
in the leg. I could live with it.
Eris, for those who weren't aware, was the female Tarn which came out, and it's had 2 releases already. It's already gone into an Armada Megatron, and it's gone into an alternative A-color version of Eris as well, female Tarn. And now, as Andy correctly said, it's going to be turned into potentially Galvatron. I got a cough in my throat. I just beat myself.
Well, we'll move on, and we'll start having a look at Ocular Max's upcoming Infinity IFO2 Stray.
Drift.
Which is Drift.
It is. This is to sit alongside your G1 stuff rather than in IDW. It's a G1 style drift that they've made. Someone else has got this already before, which I can't remember the name of it, but it was quite large. It's not Star City, Star Saber. I'm trying to think it was Star Toys.
I know you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, the information on it says that it's a masterpiece scale drift that's got a very original alt mode inspired by the AE86 from the manga anime Initial D. We all love Initial D. That killed the movie.
If you could go back, if you could go back,
if I could go back, I wouldn't read that out. Oh, go on.
Would you replace Spring with Drift?
Huh?
I can't hear.
Why did I have to go back so we could discuss that?
No. Sorry. If you went back in time to the '86 movie, would you replace Springer with Drift now?
No.
That's a great question for the news.
Drift is a very modern. Yeah.
Why did you ask?
The '86 movie.
I'm glad you asked that question, Alexis. Let's return to it in about 3 months. Right.
If you put him in another house in another part of the country, is he still a Noved?
Is that like if a tree falls in the woods? Doesn't make a sound. Anyway. There he is, drifting along.
It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks. Oh, you've got to have a superhero landing pose, haven't you? Yeah, punch.
Any films you want to put him in? Sliding Doors, maybe. Alexis?
Oh, that's a great one, Sliding Doors. Or maybe what's the one where they do all the dancing? Showgirls. There you go. Look.
Footloose.
Great film.
Imagine if Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon had been replaced with Drift.
Kevin Drift Bacon. Right, there you go. Anyway, there's the car modes next to other car modes. And there's the original.
It looks
or
like
at least what it's going to look like.
It's a Toyota Supra. It's a original Toyota Supra, that is. And there's been debate about this. But it's a Toyota Supra.
No.
Lovely. And then Fans Hobby have shown off their Skyflame, which is Armada Jetfire. We've seen loads of like renders, and we've seen the grey models, but now we've got full color. So there you go. Armada fans getting excited. There's also photos here that show how it can be carried by MB20 X-Load, which is their version of Armada Overload light-up gun, because that's what you're paying the money for. And comes with a Minicon, whose name is something somebody in the chat will tell us, because I don't know.
Roller?
Wily
Cat? Bob. I think it should just be Bob. And there's the shuttle mode where the Minicon becomes the front wheels.
That's a very cool old mode, isn't it?
It feels kind of Thunderbirdsy to me.
It looks almost Lego-esque.
It looks
Lego-esque. That's like Lego.
There it is with Overload.
Why do you do that, Alexis? I don't think it looks that Lego-esque at all.
I think it looks Lego-esque.
Why do you do that? Say things you don't agree with.
You think it looks Lego-esque? I think it looks Lego.
It looks kind of like Thunderburst on it, and then you go, no, actually, you're wrong, Andy. It looks like a Lego set. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Skywarp Drifters they're kind of like if you imagine a twirl with a bit of biscuit and toffee inside them. They were excellent. Really, really good effort, Cadbury's.
He's going to say Power Rangers.
New Age Huffer, which is called Balin.
It's good.
There you go. Huffing it up.
Sammy Balin.
Like a huffer. We'll get this one.
I've got to say, I kind of want a new chug hupper, but when you look at the other gears, when you look at gears and how good gears is and Cosmos and that, I think to myself, they made Hupper look too cool. They need to make Hupper look like he was more like the cartoon and the comic.
You want a shitter one? Is that what you're saying?
I don't want.
In my
I don't
humble
want
opinion, I did think it was quite a shit effort, their huffer. I mean, you could see the hands visibly, drastically.
Well, you can't see anything in gears. I think they could do a better Hupper.
You can see his chest. When you open the boot, you can see his chest.
Yeah.
You know.
Visible chest syndrome.
I just think we need a better Hupper.
I was going to say.
He could be most Decepticons, because that other Hupper looks like really serious, doesn't he?
It's one of the worst Transformers.
And a cool gun.
All right, calm down. You do not like VHS. You're more of a Betamax man. Right, moving on. Here is their version of Pipes, and it's called Dwalin. Although I saw that on another post where it was written as Dwayne, because then I made the joke about Dwayne Dibley, which, yeah, there you go.
That makes sense, because they're the smaller ones and they're the dwarves from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, do you know I hadn't even made that connection? Well done. You're more geeky than me. Anyway, there you go. Pipes. Who doesn't love Pipes, eh? God rest his soul. Rich and fulfilling. And there he is with the lads off on a night on the town. Almost hear that Reservoir Dogs music as they're walking along. Classic.
They are going down the Reza. They are going down the Reza, aren't they?
Then Ocular Max Groove. Do you want to take this, Alexis? Because there's some differences to point out, isn't there? Oh, he's having.
Yeah,
right,
sure.
Sorry,
I'll take this one. Yeah, sorry, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah. So, what was the question about Ocular Max? Sorry.
So, as I'm sure you've noticed from your extensive research before we do the show, you'll know that they've made it so that you can have the kind of the neck area in two different versions. You can change it how you like it, so you can make it look, which I suppose is supposed to be the cartoon version, or something that doesn't look shit. It's up to you. You can have that option. So there's the big neck version, looking like he's got some kind of what's it called, a snood that you wrap around your neck and stuff that footballers wear when they're training.
Yeah, that's it. Snood.
And then you can have it like that, you see, where it's just more. It looks a bit more natural, and then it just looks like he's got a couple of colours going on. So you got options.
So he's got either a Harry Hill collar or he's got a snood, basically.
We all love a bit of Harry Hill, Alexis. Isn't that right, Pete?
Especially Pete.
Yeah. You're missing out on a killing. You know, you could do kids' parties.
Harry Hill, isn't it? When's your next gig, Pete? When's your next gig?
I got mistaken for Tom Davis the other week in Marlow. That was quite funny.
Tom Davis?
Yeah, but he's like
when you were ship facing the ship.
Who is Tom Davis?
he's like 3 or 4.
You'll see it, mate.
A bit heavier.
He's a bit of a bigger lad than Pete.
Yeah. Good.
Very funny comedian. Well, yeah, he is a comedian.
So I was going to say on the groove piece, extra emphasis and similar. They changed the way that the actual the bike fell at the back, the wheel, so you could change the way that the pistons came through. You can have 2 different modes again, depending on what you wanted it to look like as well. So you can have the wheel all the way out, or you can have the wheel all the way out.
Very technical.
Hang on the back of him, they changed it so you can have 2 different ways for these pistons to look. Because that feels like
extra.
All right. I thought you were talking about here, because that just seems like a bit of a waste of time. Like
using technical terms, impressive.
Pistons, camshaft. Anybody got any others?
Standard
hydraulics. Has it got hydraulics?
Anti-lock braking system.
Anyway, easily amused.
We really are. We really are. What's this? Well, I've forgotten the name. But RFI has done a review, I think. It's this one, isn't it?
Medic.
Yeah,
First aid. Medic.
Which is very good.
My first name.
Go watch it. Not now, but after the show. Although he's gone, I know he's supposed to be a pacifist, but give him something that looks a bit bigger than that. Jeez, it looks like the cricket from.
I
Men in
actually
Black.
seen him crop up. No, Alpha did a review, which must have
Yeah.
sparked Border Dude to do some photos as well.
Border Fire, what a crossover!
Border
Eh?
Fire.
When
I-
two
I-
bodies collide.
Yeah,
I would
Alpha and
love
Border
to
Dude
see that love child.
melted together, fused.
Ugh. Anyway, moving on. Right. These photos. I didn't notice till after I'd already downloaded the other ones. So they've released the photos of the 3 bots: Armada, Prime, the Jetfire, and the Overload together. So that's the 3 of them. And later on, because I've just realised I forgot to download the ones I sent to myself right before the start of the show, I can show you what they look like when you combine all of them into one super powerful robot. Unless nobody's
I hope
bothered,
it's
I'll
a
show it
proper
next week.
combination and it's not like that.
No, do you know what? It looks all right. It
Beast
looks
War
decent.
thing. So they're
No,
not like-
it's not that. It's not some human centipede type thing. No, it's oh dear God, not that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there they are. They do look quite good together, I have to admit. I mean, that's got to be a lot of money standing right there, though. Where were we? I think this next one's Iron Factory. Sorry, Alexis, I was waiting for you.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is Iron Factory, their version of Optimus Primal. It's a samurai version, actually. So they're doing their samurai range at the moment. So there's Megatron coming out as well. I don't know if we've got pictures of that at the moment. So I don't think they've done Primal just yet. Because I'm trying to think. There is another third-party company which has done Legends versions of Primal and Megs, which look very good actually. Iron Factory, very solid. So if you're into the samurai feel, the vibe, then you can't go wrong. I think the peak of them is their Grimlock as well, which looks almost like a half
not into
IDW
samurai
Grimlock and a
stuff.
half ninjas, maybe. Just put that there.
Well, I don't know, but
Touche.
that Shogun show is kicking it right now, and that's brilliant. It's got
That is
ninjas
true.
and samurai and horses and cannons.
I need to watch that still. I do need to watch that.
Oh,
I don't know
God.
why I opened my mouth. Why I done it to myself.
Why? You do. it
That's
to
Tom
yourself.
Davis. I
You
found out
do.
he's a comedian.
What is he behind Pete? Oh, anyway,
And he
right.
loves Transformers.
Who doesn't? Eh? Who doesn't? Is there any? Oh yeah, there is more because we have this, which is Ocular Max Defensor. Is this just what we've got so far, Alexis?
Yeah, so we've got the two limb bots on the right hand side there. So Streetwise and First Aid. Hotspot is about to drop in the next week or two. I imagine probably 10 days. I imagine I'm gonna put my finger on the pulse there a little bit. I know Megalot's got it soon. I haven't heard anything from Shozi just yet. And then Groove, he's not in the hall. I'm in the hall. Groove is in the wings, way down the line for probably about 4 months, maybe 3.
Was that a Groove is in the hall joke? As opposed
Yes, it
to Groove
was.
is in the heart. Oh, the sauce is so weak today.
Is it? Groove is in the hall. Groove is in the heart.
Ask the chat. Right, that's it. I think that's it. That's the last one. Because as I say, I've just realised I did try to download the most recent pictures, but Twitter had a complete freak out on me where I was downloading the photos from Fans Hobby's Twitter account, and I ran out of time then, so I haven't got them. So I'll get them for next week. You'll get to see them all combined. Or just go and have a look yourselves. You know, I'm not here to entertain you. Oh wait, I am. Anyway, there you go. That's it. That's all the news. And 28 minutes, baby. Let's do this.
Damn, on time. Let's do some pickups.
We now return to the Transformers.
Oh, what did you get? Pete.
I've got loads of cool stuff this week. I don't know what order. Got my copy of Scarlet Spider from In Demand, which was excellent. I've got another one coming from eBay, a loose one, so I can have.
He's the clone Spider-Man? Is he the clone Spider-Man?
Correct.
Is that how he's wrong?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ben Riley. So I'm going to have that one on card, and I've got a loose one coming. I noticed that Roton from Masters of the Universe Origins was on sale on Amazon for £19.
He looks
which
unhappy.
was rude, very angry, but pearly whites. Always cleans his teeth. Look at that floss. Gap between the teeth. So that was quite cool for £19. I got some new arms for my chair. They were quite good. And
He's going full
The-
Alexis. He's going full
Oh,
Alexis.
he really has.
the pièce de la résistance is animated Megatron. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The animated toy line is quite possibly the best toy line I think Transformers did. This was an eBay purchase. Very cool little fucker. Nice to transform, chunky, and his mouth moves when you do that. When you press the electronics.
Nice.
Like,
He talks as well, doesn't he?
yeah. But he hasn't got his headset. So you can't hear him. But
A little headset.
maybe you could. Let's try.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
mate.
that actually worked. We could hear him laughing.
You can do that every week.
Yeah. Just have Megatron on one week. Just press the button.
And when you transform him, this is
Hang
what
on,
blew my
hang on.
mind. When you transform him, he does helicopter. When you press the button, it does helicopter noises.
Helicopter. When you say he does the
Hang
helicopter,
on.
could
like
you
a
clarify?
shower helicopter.
Look.
Woo!
He spins
When I,
it right.
when I got Beast Wars Megatron and I played his voice, no one gave a shit. Pete's got animated Megatron.
Does
doing
Beast
it,
Wars
and you're
Megatron do the
floored.
helicopter out the shower? I don't fucking think so.
Yeah, like
Shout out
that. Helicopter.
to all those wives out
helicopter.
there who have to deal with men doing helicopters. Big shout out to wives of the men who can't do the
Yeah.
helicopter.
Yeah.
Big shout out. You can find
Contact the show.
Instagram. Anyway, moving on.
And that's all I had, Captain.
Great and good helicopter chat. Alexis, have you got nothing with you? I guess on holiday.
I'm going to save mine for next week because I've got a few bits I want to show, but I might do a little
Yes.
video
Jamie?
online before then. So.
Yes. I've got
You haven't got any
stuff.
pickups, so
Right.
shut the fuck up.
I've
I've
got
got any pickup. What am I going to do?
some human
do,
transformers
it's not
and,
here.
Sliding
big,
doors.
Big Boa, G.I. Joe.
sorry?
Big Boa, he's a sort of boxing evil cobra dude.
Big Boa.
Yeah, that's his name. It's like,
Helicopter
you know,
Boa.
That's strange because that's my nickname
you
too.
know.
Right, keep-
Well, I mean, I don't know if he does a helicopter when he comes out of the shower. I mean, we could ask Hasbro and then maybe the
He'd
next
actually take
Q&A
off.
session. You know,
Like,
I might get me blocked though, but you know what? That's a risk I'm willing to take for you guys. And then we got this wonderful figure, and I've forgotten his name, Franklin. What a dull name! And Franklin Airborne Tall Tree. Tall Tree. But you know, he does look pretty.
For when the helicopter starts.
He
Look
does
at the girth of that
pretty
tree.
awesome. Well, actually, I don't actually recall this character too much, but I do think he looks quite amazing, and he's the G.I. Joe HasLab he'll definitely go with, and he's a cool, quite a unique character, and I think it's quite good to have G.I. Joe characters who are less cliche, you know, because you often feel like if they have a Scottish character, he'll be dressed up in a fucking kilt and, you know, tossing a table, and I think it's good to have your, you know, range of different plethora, myriad of different people from different areas and stuff like that, and not follow. They have to be this, you know, oh, he's Japanese, so he's going to have to be martial arts based and a samurai. No, could he not just be a tech dude, you know, and you know, etc. So I kind of like that figure for that many of the reasons and stuff. And I think the way, I mean, there's so many G.I. Joe comics just now out there and repurposed and rewritten. So it'd be quite interesting because I don't think I've met anyone apart from maybe a couple of people who have read the new G.I. Joe stuff, and it's been quite positive. Sadly, with me, I'll be just getting the Transformer stuff, not opening it because I like to save it up to at least 10 issues. But I've been reading the Thundercat stuff, which has been amazing. But I don't know if anyone's been reading the G.I. Joe with the shared universe of Transformers. Are the comics any good? Are they worth reading? You know, do they have these characters which I'm paying a lot of money for? But
He
yes,
agrees
I'm quite
with the
excited to
toilet.
have him.
They're,
Quite excited to have
mate,
him.
they're definitely worth reading. The comics are really enjoyable. They're setting it up, I think, nicely. It's almost like a kind of an origin story. It's quite good.
Does it have these characters in it, or is it starting with the base characters first? and then
It's
the-
starting with the base ones, but it is still enjoyable.
I also got Wheeljack, Cybertronian Wheeljack, and do you know what? This is one of these figures where you definitely need to have it in hand. looking at the pictures, even pictures, superb pictures which are out there, don't really do the figure justice. You know how they say, like, pictures that add weight to a figure, they'll add, more girth and stuff like that and make something look thicker than it is. So it makes him look bulky, and he is, but in hand he's actually not that bulky. And he's I don't know, I like the fact is that, I don't know, he's just a good figure, and he's got a lot of articulation, and if it wasn't for the fact is I feel like he's been let down with the lack of weapons like they like to do to Wheeljack for some reason. I would say he's in many respects kind of like Jazz has one of the best sort of like interpretations of his sort of robot mode, out there. I just think it looks quite good and quite classy. And the QC gods have been kind of kind to me in that respect there as well, because I was worried about that, because he kind of got lost in the mail for like a week. Yoda for some reason wasn't sending them from the depot, even though they were sending me all the G.I. Joe stuff. They wouldn't send me Wheeljack. But I'm happy to get him. He's really quite good. And I think everyone who's got him has been quite surprised, because I think it was a lot of people who had doubts in their mind and they weren't sure. And I've not transformed them yet. So Pete, you have. How easy is he to transform?
It's really enjoyable. I think you do need to get a couple of bits at the right angle, but he does tab together really well. And I think hand on heart, if you enjoy his robot mode, you'll love his alt mode.
Does his backpack come off by any chance? That backpack there?
No, it all goes together.
So
that forms the roof.
I've only seen one person saying anything negative about that Wheeljack, and it was that he would never transform it again because he found the transformation awful. So maybe it was just that getting the panels in the right place. Maybe they just had a hard time with it. But that's the only person I've seen say anything negative.
I've heard that said about Jazz, Cybertronian Jazz.
It is tapping it.
Yeah.
It is tapping
the Dustbuster.
Is it gonna come down in price? You think, or is it gonna sell out?
I would say you'd be a fool to wait for it to drop in price, because I think it could easily sell out and you'd be left once it failed QC stuff. And Pete did a fantastic image last week of all three transformed: Bumblebee, Jazz, and Wheeljack, which was quite popular. Caught up a lot of people's imagination. And so I think if you're in doubt, get it. I think it's definitely going to be re-released. I think they're probably going to do a 3-pack. You can tell Hasbro are working their way up to that. But I think if you want them now, just enjoy it. I mean, tomorrow you can get hit by a bus, or a train, or an old lady in a wheelchair. It could happen.
Just an old lady in a wheelchair.
Yeah, just enjoy yourself now. Don't wait.
Cool. Jamie, anything else?
No, I've been blessed this week. I'm happy with what I've got.
Right. Andy, what did you get, sir?
A warm, fuzzy feeling from Jamie and the love that he's putting out right now. But also, I received my Cybertron Starscream finally, which I was ecstatic about, only to get it open and find that they'd misassembled his right arm. So he couldn't bend properly. And I thought maybe I can just rotate it and put it back. No, it was not possible. So I've had to return it to In Demand, and they're sending me a replacement. That's the first Hasbro bot I've had for ages that's had any kind of QC issue. So I'm going to forgive them this time, but only this time, Hasbro, if you're watching. And then the only other thing I got this week was Mellow Shade, who I know is in the chat tonight. He ran a little giveaway for a hot link, and I won it. And he sent it to me. And he sent it with a couple of extra Skywarp guns that he got off of Skywarp, apparently, that he thought looked cool on it. So he just sent them along with it, which was really nice of him. And that arrived this morning. So thank you very much,
gorgeous transformer.
And a gorgeous, gorgeous man. Spiderfather on Twitter. And is he Spiderfather on Instagram as well? Or is he Mellow Shade? Is he on Instagram? I only follow on Twitter. So.
He's on Instagram as well. I think he's Mellow Shade on Instagram. He's
Lovely.
On Facebook as well.
Anyway, third-party upgrades. Thank you. I'm glad that's clarified. Oh, God,
he might be the tallest Transformer fan.
He's very tall, but let's not get into that discussion again because Paul's already pulling a face. But yes, thank you very much for that. I'll just tell you a mildly funny story that when I received it, I was actually out walking the dog when it got delivered, and my wife had taken possession of the box. And when I came in, she was giving me some very suspicious looks about whether I'd been ordering something.
You need to sign off for this.
I want a gift. I'm always very transparent about everything I buy. I don't need to hide anything. So yeah,
Maitland's like that to me, and I go, hold on, Maitland, like you're lucky to be going out with me for a start. You know?
Jamie, to be fair, you get about 26 boxes at a time.
Yeah, but I like to remind Maitland. I said, look, Maitland, look at that mirror. You're a solid 6, and you're going out with me.
Oh my word, Maitland!
You know,
if you came through that door right now and beat him, nobody
But
would.
you know, a solid 6 though, not a 5.
Solid.
At least this isn't safe for the internet.
My God.
Yeah.
My God. Anyway, Mellow Shade, thank you very much, mate. That was very generous. And Mellow Shade does these giveaways. He's such a generous guy. So if you aren't following him on Twitter or wherever, then go and give the man a follow at Mellow Shade. He's in the chat, so go have a look in the chat. Not you bots. You bots, stay away from him. Anyway. That's
right, was that it? Cool.
Yes.
I just got one thing. I got 2 things. One was a Blood Angel. The other one was a Dark Angels Blade Guard veteran. So he'll go. So always loved Dark Angels as a kid. Like they were my favorite, and the lore behind them is amazing. Like with Cypher and how some of them got turned. But when Joy Toys started making figures, they released all the Blood Angels, and so I started collecting them because I always quite liked them. And they didn't release any Dark Angels, and then they released a couple. I always said like if they do all the Dark Angels, I'll sell my Blood Angels to fund the Dark Angels. Instead of doing that, I've just started buying the Dark Angels. Paying them next to the Blood Angels, and I've just finished. What's it called? The Descent of Angels, which is the 40k Horus Heresy first book of the Dark Angels, which has got me into it even more. So I'm not quite at the stage where I'm selling the Blood Angels. I might still do it. But I found myself selling more Transformers to fund more Dark Angels, but that's the ebb and flow of collecting.
Do
you
have a group?
I wish.
What?
I've been in a similar dilemma because the G.I. Joe pre-orders came up on the same time as the Transformer pre-orders came up. So where I went for Swoop, which I definitely must have at the cost of all life on this planet, G.I. Joe's figures, I had to collect all of them, and I thought the only way I could do that was by not getting Shockwave. You know, I had no choice. I don't make the rules, Pete. You know, sometimes those collectors are just slave to the art of collecting.
You
know, so...
Like it's a skill.
Works so hard at spending this money.
Paul, I was going to ask you, Paul, is there a group or anywhere that someone could go to appreciate these figures that you collect, these Warhammer figures?
That's on Facebook.
There is Joy Toy Warhammer group, which is now over, I think it's over 5.5 thousand members now. So head over to there. We do giveaways and stuff when I can be bothered, and it's a good group.
Loads of Blood Angels.
The photography, honestly, Transformer photography is great. Some of the photography, though, check it out, is insane. The Joy Toy stuff they put on, it just looks real. Like some of the AI stuff they put up looks the same as the photography they do themselves. I even screenshot stuff. I think I'll do a Transformers photo in that style because there's so many good ideas. So well worth checking out.
Aren't you going to do like a thing about it? Aren't you going to do the little toy sections we've been doing? Aren't you going to do one on?
We'll do a Joy Toy one. Yeah,
Joy Toy specifically.
We'll do a Warhammer one.
Do we still have a sponsorship with them?
Yeah, we do. I've got. Where is it? There's at least 3 up here, which I need to give away. There's one which I've done the draw. I've done the everyone's entered. I haven't drawn them, which is the Inquisitor. But if you look over here,
when you do the draw, you want to get a massive wheel and put everybody's, all 5,500 names on it, and then literally just spin it and eliminate each one at a time. Because that's apparently the way we do it, isn't it, Alexis?
There's a lot of these blind boxes, but
fucking isn't.
Yeah.
That is an incredible collection again, though. But then you do go all in, don't you?
You do. Well, I don't, because if you went all in on Joy Toy, and there are fucking collectors who go all in, they release stuff so quickly. They're like Hasbro level of like release schedule, probably even more, and they're like £30 to £40. That's sort of the cheapest ones you can pick up, and then obviously go up in price from there on.
They do different scale figures as well, don't they? They're doing like 1/18 scale as well as.
They do it outside of Warhammer. Yeah, the Warhammer they keep it into the same scale, but they do other figures. They do some brilliant mechs and stuff, some like Japanese stuff.
Proper clothes as well. They get proper materials and stuff.
How tall? How much space do they take? What on?
They
cheers.
are about 5 inches, 4 inches. So they're almost like 3.5 inch figure scale. Because if you think the Space Marines are bigger than a 3.5 inch, they'd be naturally bigger. But I'll whip one out for you, mate, and
Oh, man.
show you on the show.
Talking about being naturally bigger and then whipping one out.
You know,
Beautiful.
All about the scale there for our chat fans. Then imagine relaxed and then attention.
Not relaxed.
No,
Don't
well,
get the
you're relaxed.
honey.
You're 3.5
Don't
inches.
get
Which
honey,
is
Alexis.
the state I'm in.
Paul,
right
can you
now.
share,
You're
picture after
in a
you
state.
finish? I forgot to do.
When Joy Toy release Eldari, I'll get on it, which is Eldar, if anyone's an old school collector. Right, Jamie.
I've got Eldar at home. I like Eldar. Remember those guys? They were cool.
Yeah,
So this is Gears, which I got I think last week, and I think it's awesome figure. To be make a figure as miserable as Gears with a face which is horrendous and make him such a cool toy is like I don't know, it's like voodoo black magic, isn't it? And I think Hasbro about done themselves. Where a lot of people are thinking we want a bit of Bumblebee now, we want a bit of Cliff Jumper. You know, it's almost like the was it the $1 billion man? We now have the technology. I feel like if the engineers are allowed to follow their dreams, what they want to do, there's so much that they're capable, and I want Hasbro just to allow them to do it. Gears is a lovable character, very awesome, very cool. The colours are nice, the detail is nice. I don't know. I mean, sometimes you don't want to talk too much. You don't know if it's just an accident of the way the engineering works, but he just doesn't have any gaps, really. Not any gaps that I've really foreseen or knowledge. And he seems to be so much homage to the cartoon, like the way the chest opens, the back of his head, he's got that M thing, you know. It just looks like, apart from the hands being clenched, you know, and being permanently closed, something where they could just open that hands up and open up and close, you know, it would be like, I would say, like a masterpiece almost to my mind anyway. And I know we say many masterpiece all the time, but I think it's just something that's true now. And it's a good vehicle mode. There's no visible hands in this transformation at all, Paul. So you can wank yourself silly over this toy and be.
And I will.
You know?
Show him fucking reversing. Show him reversing.
No.
Literally over him.
Don't try to spoil stuff.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah, and yes, he's just an ecstatic good figure, and I had a lot of fun with him. He's got a ridiculous amount of poses for as well, and you're just thinking, wow, we really are lucky. This is like, as Paul said many a times, it's like the golden era of Transformers, and there's all these sort of like mini bots classically together. And I mean, like, obviously we've already got Hubcap, and we've got the Shattered Glass version of Bumblebee, and we've got the, what do you call it, the mercenary white Bumblebee, what's his name?
Bugbite.
Bugbite, you know. So we've obviously got a lot of, you know, the sort of, you know, deluxe.
What just happened there? Oh, is he gone? Oh, he's back. He's back. Oh, he's gone again. He's back again.
I keep getting kicked off. You know,
that was just weird. You and Paul just went like that.
I know.
Although Paul, I think is still there. He's just not there.
Suicide pact.
I think
what?
I think we're getting attacked by international. I think Russians.
It's the Russians.
Russians, yeah. They know.
First they ban us. Now
They're always banning us on YouTube and stuff, and because we've got some copyright infraction now. I don't know.
Just before I forget to say it, Jamie, that is one of my favourite photos that you've done ever. Probably, I love that group shot of them. But God damn it, Hasbro, give us a sea spray to put in there, and also I remember somebody, I think it was Lily, asked for a wind charger, but sea spray first because he's awesome and we need him.
And a power glide.
You know, Power glide has to be there. Power glide and sea spray, we must have them. Wind charger, perhaps the most horrendous Autobot that's ever been conceived. I think if they could do such a good job with gears, I think they could do Wind Charger and actually make him look cool. Of course, I do want Wind Charger to have something magnetic in him. He needs to have that, like magnets. I don't know. They must have that, because it's the one gimmick I liked about Wind Charger was his magnetic ability. So I would like that gimmick somehow put in. And I think if they put magnets in there, I know it's expensive, but awesome, go for that. But yes. There they are. They're little mini bots, Autobots together, and yeah, just cool to have all there. And yeah, brilliant. And I don't know what's my favorite one. I honestly think Cosmos is still the one that buys it, but then Braun.
I think Warpath, I think is one of the best Hasbro figures they've released. And I know it's a bit complicated doing the legs, but if you're used to Masterpiece stuff, doesn't seem complicated.
I take on board your point, Paul, but I think you're ignoring the fact that Pipes, because you can see his hands in his alt mode, it's
Pipes can go fuck himself up the cunt.
Really, then?
Cool. Don't be an bush. Say what you really think.
Yeah, tell us what you really think.
I've got Cosmos. He is good. Braun's one I think I'd like to get next. I think Braun, Jamie's photos is brilliant. The Braun.
Epic figure.
I almost picked up Beachcomber the other day, but they're expensive.
Beachcomber looks quite cool. The only thing I think Beachcomber suffers is the moulding of the face, where the blue kinds of hide his sort of like face.
You can't see the
his lips.
details, can you?
Yeah, and that's like you need to put it under a bright light, which is kind of artificial to see the detail, which isn't what your eyes can see. So yeah, I think, but Beachcomber still looks awesome. Wonderful transformation mode. And your brain almost starts to imagine what his face should be looking like. But I think he's the weaker link out of all the other ones there.
And the Bee's good, isn't it? Bumblebee, especially the Volkswagen one. And I've put a little Autobot, because I think the chest looks a bit blank, so I put an Autobot symbol when it really lifts it up. They've done a great job.
I so want to do that. I need to buy a third Bumblebee just to do that, because I sometimes worry about modifying the original, even with third-party upgrades, unless I've got a copy to do it with.
It's a sticker. It's
a puppet.
Alexis, for us purists, that's enough.
Fuck it out. Oh my god.
We can't help what we are. We don't
Ollie, the natural state of the bot.
I'm gonna be
anyway.
I do agree with you, Alexis.
Across the land who are sitting there nodding their heads saying, nope, we agree.
And thanks, Mel, shading other people giving me compliments. It's well noted. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jamie.
Right. Where's this? So, Alexis wants to go through the competition again, which is good because I still don't understand it. Where's the video though?
I sent it to you. Did I send you? Or you can download it. You can just point to the link. I haven't got it.
Or you can just tell us now while you're here, and then we don't have to do the video.
I'll
everybody can just
an intro.
Send it.
The video actually covered.
Okay, it's time for competition time. Tune.
It's a banger.
He's still sending it to you. You know that, right?
What?
He's not actually just going to do it like we told him to. He's just going to send it to you.
We'll just get people away, Alexis. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fine. It's only a live show. It's not like people are expecting us in.
Okay, so we ran a competition last year.
We've lost a viewer. We've lost a viewer.
Between October and January.
You, Alexis.
Another one's gone now as well.
If you use our ShowZ code here on ShowZ, if you buy third party, you use ShowZ. If you use the code TFShow on ShowZ, then you email us with an image of the actual item you purchased and the time and date you've done it to tfshowcomp@gmail.com. tfshowcomp@gmail.com. Your name goes into a hat. When we get to 100 people, we're going to draw a name out the hat, and then that person will win a figure of to a certain value. We're looking at like an MP figure or a really cool Legends figure. Last time, Nathan won comic book colored sludge from New Age. we're going to be looking at a much bigger prize fund with this release. So competition will probably run for another 3 or 4 months.
And
Those
you're
people
going to
who
update stuff on
support-
Twitter, aren't you, as well? So people will be able to get more details, like in Twitter and Facebook, where it'll be spelled out, and YouTube, which you've got a video on.
There's a video online which on our channel which explains it again. If you want to have a look at how to actually enter again, it shows that. Paul, I've sent you a video as well.
When do you project that this competition will reach 100 entries? Will it be sometime within this decade, or are we looking beyond them?
So we've got 17 so far. So people that have been supporting the channel so far, they're already entered. I've been capturing their details as well. So from January 13th,
does that include when Pete made his purchase?
The way you enter is you have to use the code that shows E, and then we have to capture it somehow in a way that you can identify yourself, right? That's how we get support,
we
right?
need to do a virgin sacrifice and a blood moon.
No, we don't need to. But
play the video.
Genuine question. If John Smith, how many times can John Smith order? Because if he buys 10 things, does he get 10 entries?
He does get 10 entries. That's correct.
Do you mean he's going to be 10 times in the fucking wheel of death and boredom?
So it's not pre-orders; it's full orders. So you have to place a full order to actually be able to.
Alexis, you're not spending it 100 times to get to a winner.
No
frigging way. No frigging way.
Pete?
No.
I think that's Pete's fault. He's tricked Alexis into answering something stupid. It's your fault, Pete. You knew it. You could have asked him in chat and typed it, in fucking Messenger and stuff like that.
No, because people do buy multiple items.
So the more items you buy, the more entries you get. And as soon as you hit 100 entries, you're just going to spin it. So somebody potentially, if they've used it 20 times, has obviously got 1 in 5 chance of winning.
What? Correct.
Well,
that's a lot of orders. That's a lot of orders, though.
I cannot wait for this competition to come to its fruition.
Some people like watching the world burn.
You're the one who asked them that. We could have persuaded them not to do it that way.
What's up, YouTube? It's Alexis from Transformers The Show. Hope everyone is safe, healthy, and well. I wanted to update everyone on the competition. This is not an April Fool's. Please stay tuned. If you want to win a potential masterpiece figure, really good Legends figure, last time Nathan won himself Toon-coloured Sludge from New Age. This time we're going to double the prize at the very least, and it depends on the entries, right? So we're going for 100 entries this time round, and then we'll run a sweepstake. We've got 17 people already because, again, I'm carrying over people who placed orders already and supporting the channel. All you need to do to enter is go on to Showzy Store. So if you shop at Showzy, or if you haven't, please do, Showzy Store. And then you can see here, I'll put a little image on the screen where you can enter what's called the reviewer code, and the code is TFShow. That's TFShow. Enter, and then when you place your order, email tfshowcomp@gmail.com. That's tfshowcomp@gmail.com with the order number, what item you ordered, and then the date and time that order was as well. And that's important because whilst we can't see what it is, who you are from we can see an image of the item, so we can tie that up, and that secures your place in the draw. Once we reach 100, we'll do a rabbit out of a hat job, sweepstake style, that sort of thing. Might bring back the wheel, that's still negotiable, but we'll do something definitely. So hopefully we'll do it in the summer. We'll see. As I said, we've got 17 entries so far, but please do. I will play the wonderful video so you can see what the wheel looked like last time and how Nathan won at the end of this as well. But I wish you a very happy Easter and look forward to seeing you Friday nights live, 8 PM on YouTube. Take care all. Bye-bye.
Hi guys, it's Paul, the host of Transformers The Show. We wanted to reach out to you so we can clear some things up from a matter that was raised.
People do a solo.
Why are we showing that picture again?
Oh, that's a shame the video failed. Moving on.
Yeah.
No, that was it. That wasn't. It was a first half of the video. I set the first half. Trimmed it. Right. So that's how you enter.
Lost 30 views.
We literally lost 32 people in the live chat.
People.
Jesus Christ.
What do we get out of it?
Nothing.
We get nothing.
We get
Alexis
millions of
gets
views.
points so we can get cheap bots from Show Z, and we get nothing.
Shut up.
We lose viewers, and you tell them. And we
Have
still
you
lose
not
viewers,
realised
then
that
you
yet?
Once we get to the next level,
Uh-huh.
we
Alexis,
give
can
people
we
discount.
stop now before we lose more viewers?
Hang
please?
on. Once we get to the next level, we can give other people a discount. Other
Yeah.
than you mean?
I
Other
don't
than
get
just
discount.
you and us.
Maybe us.
I get points. I get points for my reviews.
Are we in a pyramid scheme?
Yes, I think so.
Why
Right,
is somebody coming
okay.
to take my house?
Let's do foreplay. It's a good one this week. Foreplay.
Lindy's a sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. Don't think you want to join in.
It's all right. The people returning to the chat. Right. So this week it's our top 86 release date G1 Transformers.
Shall we share the list? Share the list again quickly, just because it's.
Yeah.
I think people seem to be helped by this, so they know what to expect. So this was the 86 general retail stuff that you could get. Obviously, I'm not sure if this was all released in the UK. This is obviously based off the American release, but this is everything that came out that was general release. I know Alexis will have put a lot of thought into this before he travelled for his holidays, so he'll have his bot ready to go, and that's why we can all relax on that one. But you know, you've got your aerial bots in there, Stunticons, triple changes again, Combaticons, Predictor bots, mini cassettes, I suppose, and of course the 86 movie guys. So a lot of choice here, and also of course Skylinks and Metroplex. So you know, if you're in the chat, tell us who your favourite is. While we talk about ours.
What a year, though.
It was a banger. Really, again, 85. I was impressed when I looked at the list for 85 because I'd kind of gone, really? I'd forgotten about that. But 86, god damn.
It blows your mind.
And I will honor in his honor say that I think Ian would have, if he was able to be with us, he would have chosen the Predacons because he's a massive fan of the Predacons. So I think that would have been his choice. And maybe he'd have shocked me. Maybe he'd have gone for, I don't know, Swerve.
Did Scourge actually
No,
come out
he would have gone for
85?
Razor Claw.
No,
Sorry.
he's 86.
86.
Yeah, yeah.
So, wait a minute,
And then he was re-released in 87 as a Target Master.
So we're doing 86. I didn't miss
86. Yeah.
All right, good. So like, yeah.
Yeah. By any chance have you got Scourge?
I know, but I've just realised the one I picked, the one I remember from my childhood,
right.
is actually the Target Master Scourge.
Oh,
technically it's not 86.
technically that's
so-
87, but you could still have Scourge because he was 86.
No, but I didn't have him, did I? So
all right then.
So I
I tried to give you an out. Okay.
I'm honest to a fault. I'm not like you guys, and you know,
Fuck off! All you
Last
was
week you
like-
rocked up with
well,
Studio
yeah.
Series.
I can sense hostility there because you're jealous.
Really? That's interesting.
I could use the 85 sludge, or I could use the 2023.
Oh, we've gone all
one.
kind of small.
That is a beautiful toy.
Don't know the layout.
It is a beautiful toy. It is a beautiful toy.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about our American brethren who probably did have all those bots available to them. Swines. Anyway, right.
Cool, brilliant.
Who's going first?
Let's go with Pete. Pete, would you like to go first? What was
Yeah,
your
I
favourite
went first
Transformer
in the
from
pickups.
1986?
Mine was, so this isn't, I didn't have this toy when I was a kid, but my friend did, and it was G1 Ultra Magnus. He didn't have a version of the Prime, so we always used to use the white Prime as Optimus Prime, because I think we just, I say we, I never had Optimus Prime, and neither did my friend, but it just sums up G1. He's so chunky, so solid. I actually picked this version up from a guy on Gumtree, like literally round the corner, and it's pristine. There's no yellowing. It's just a solid bot. You can stick the car bots on. You can play together. The only thing that puts me off a little bit about him is he's just so big compared to the other car bots, you know, from 86. He's just a beast of a toy. But yeah, Ultra Magnus would be my pick. And if you can get yourself a crisp one, it is a beautiful toy.
Oh, it's a beaut.
You know he's big because obviously he was it Diaclo before? No, or certainly in the line that came before Transformers were Transformers. So he was designed for the 84 cars to be able to go up onto and interact with him. Whereas obviously the 86 ones, didn't they just design them from like drawings and just go, right, make it look a bit like this? That's why the toys looked so much different from what we saw on screen, because of course they refined the designs as they went on. Sorry, I went a little bit Chris McFeely there. Right, moving on. You're right, Paul. It's like you heard it.
Ultra Magnus is my choice.
the rats are getting up
can
again.
go next.
You know,
I-
weirdly,
Okay,
between
Yes, if you can share the
between those
screen,
two,
that'd be awesome. So my choice, after a lot of thought, which was 4 seconds, I went with the aerial bots, and I was originally going to sort of pick these dudes before, but you know, I was spellbound by Scourge, which to me is an amazing toy. So I hope someone maybe was lucky enough to get them. But I got the aerial box, and I got that from Woolworths. I think it was a gift pack, and I remember getting them, and I remember I just loved the fact, you know, they combined, and it was a cool toy, although they were quite diminutive, you know, let us say, and very small in comparison to the other sort of bots. So there's a lot of imagination getting used, but you know, you're kids, don't you? And it's amazing how adaptable you are as a kid. So I really didn't care, and they were just brilliant. I think is it Quickslinger? Is that his name? He keeps changing his damn name.
Slingshot.
Slingshot, yeah. He was my favourite. I think he just had an awesome head sculpt, and it was brilliant. Kind of reminds me of Pete actually, because it kind of looks like he's got glasses with a bald head. It's quite cool. And so yes, which we'll see in some.
I'm ready
He's got Pete's suntan too.
You know, yes. Well, you look at Pete, he burns obviously quite easily. But you know, the aerial bots are quite brilliant. They've all got character. They're all quite cool. And you just can't look at these toys and just think, wow, they're just brilliant. Obviously, they've got the sort of logos you've got to rub to reveal them to see what they are, which is pretty obvious. Yeah. And there we have the sort of homage to Pete there. You know, it's like looking in the mirror, Pete. Yeah, so perfect.
I can tan or I can't tan. Pick a lane.
You just can't tan.
You can fake tan. You're down that way.
Let's find out. Next week you can be orange, mate. If you tango.
Yeah. there it is, yeah. And obviously, so not that much bigger of an Optimus Prime for a combiner, but I just loved it, and it's quite cool. It was quite a cool gift set, and it was definitely yeah. I mean, we're so lucky now when you think about Hasbro now, when we think about. Everyone's a bit obsessed by scale. I know I certainly am. That's my, you know,
I'm not.
Frosty Bear. You don't care because you don't know what the scale is to begin with. But yeah,
it's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, and yeah, so it's a bygone era, isn't it? And I'm sometimes jealous of the people who pick up the vintage toys, and I can understand why. So yeah, a good choice for me.
My own opinion.
I do say so
I
myself.
mean, it was, but still.
Technically, it was 5 as well.
Yes, he's gone full Alexis on this one.
So I'll do my choice. So
it was a gift set.
But I just want to show you the scale of the Joy Toy figure. So that's against the Master Chief. If you put your ruler up, your measuring tape, it's about the size of half my head, about half the head. But look at the detail. It's not going to focus.
It's about 4.5 to 5 inches. Because you have got a big head.
I do. Very big head.
No, it's not a criticism. It's just a statement of fact.
It doesn't sound like a compliment.
How do you say it's a positive? Do you like, it was a dam about to break, you go, Paul, quick, stick your head there. Well said. I don't know.
I'm sure
I'm
many
right
times Paul's been there with his lovers and they've said, "Ooh, I love your massive head." You know, I don't think necessarily.
Paul's gone. I'm very sorry. I need to leave now. There's a dam in crisis.
My head is relevant to my body size, which is massive.
Yeah, it's ginormous.
Just have a really tiny penis.
It's in scale, is what we're saying here. It's in scale.
Who did I pick? So I went for Groove. Groove was one of my guys that I had slightly low resolution figures as a kid, which I absolutely loved. Groove. I don't know how I'd done it. But for some reason, I managed to keep the 2 side guns and the minigun up to the age of about 12, and I kept them all together. It was one of the first toys where I didn't let the accessories get split away from the bot. I loved the transformation. It's super simple. I fantasized about having the rest of the bots to put them into a combiner. But no, and the guns, just 2 of the coolest guns you'll ever get. They sit onto the side of a bike, making absolutely an absolute monster driving along. And you could kind of almost fit other Transformers on top of them as well and drive them about. So it was Groove. I love Blades. I never had Blades. He was the one I used to look at in the catalogs and go, oh, he looks so good, because his alt mode was off the chart. So one day I will get a Blades, but my choice was Groove. So fuck you.
Groove's in the hall.
That's a cool toy. Really cool toy. I never even saw a Groove collection.
The feet was so hard. I always remember as a kid trying to get the feet to go in. Alexis, what was your choice, sir?
I will build upon that. So I think 86, looking at the lineup there, it was either you either got a combiner.
Is this your choice, or are you going on a tangent?
Right? No. Okay. I'm saying, like, it's either a combiner or a movie bot, right? They're the ones, right? So I was close. I have an honorary mention, which I'll do at the end, obviously, when we're doing honorary mentions. But my one would be Defensor. I chose Defensor because he was the first combiner that I had as a whole team, and I got him because I swapped one of my favorite Dinobots for him. So I swapped Snarl to get a whole defense,
right.
Defensor.
Kick him now. He swapped Snarl. Fucking kick him. I'll kick him.
Because it was the last bot that my mate needed to get all 4 Dinobots.
No excuse.
I wanted the combiner because I had like 2 or 3. No one had it. It was hard to get because there weren't box sets back then. So he was my first combiner, but I could also then swap other combiner limbs in with him as well, because they were all interchangeable as well, weren't they? You could swap the legs and
Scramble City
different
style.
teams. Exactly that, right? So, and you could plug him into Metroplex as well. You can plug him into the arms, couldn't you, and his legs. So
you try to justify it.
For me, no, because I got so much ability.
Snell wasn't in Transformers the movie. Move on.
He was fucking
Defensor.
Don't you start with me.
I played with Snarl to the nth degree, right? To a point where he was getting pretty loose and rickety. Defensor was pretty new and shiny to me. And I
was getting loose and rickety.
You're getting booed. Not by me.
Is that a euphemism for something else?
Rick.
I did get Snarl. I'll tell you, I did get Snarl back because my mate wanted to sell his Transformers and asked me to help him for eBay. So I said, well,
wasn't that
I'll
like
buy
20 years later?
Yeah.
And
it's more rickety.
It was an piece of shit when you gave it to him. What condition was it when you got it back?
It was just a head.
Snarl would have been a great choice, although they wouldn't necessarily fit in here. But
cool.
Defensor's a good one.
Mine was Defensor. Plus, I liked him in the cartoon as well. Like 13 had a spotlight, which obviously Defensor was there. And like,
did they have iconic cartoon episodes like the Aerial Bots did? No.
Did they defeat Bruticus with one shot in an episode, which just made no frigging sense whatsoever?
Yeah,
just shot him once and he fell apart.
It was called Bots, that episode. It was the last episode of season 2.
Shit. I remember it now.
So,
I'll trigger all the cartoon
War
fans now. It was a classic. It was beautifully written.
Are they not releasing all their cartoons in the cinema? Is that right?
The first 4 episodes
probably should have been
they're releasing in the cinema.
And I'm going to pay a lot of money to sit
which
there
means
and
it'll
watch
be in
something I can
London
sell.
somewhere, and I will have to travel a very long distance just to go and watch something I have.
Well,
on
you crash your
DVD.
mind if you need Andy.
That's the only bonus to it. At least it's an excuse to come and see you lads down south. Other than that, it's a hell of a lot of expense. How much did it cost you to go to the cinema? About £200.
we will apply for your visa now, Andy.
I'll never get past the border guard.
Imagine if it was a Durham Picture House. It's a Durham Picture House.
I reckon you
found out it's literally just round the corner and you've driven all the way down.
If Paul puts a picture of Tom, what's his name on again? I reckon Andy passes Pete, because when all 3 of them on the screen, they look very similar together. All 3.
You've got beards,
I've got a massive
glasses.
big double king size bed in the spare room, so both Andy and Paul, you can share that bed.
We would happily do that. As Andy tells me,
We wouldn't even
on
top
many
the tail, though.
occasions.
We wouldn't
No.
even top the tail.
We'd
No,
be
we'd
facing
touch
each other.
Touch the face. It's fine. It's fine. Real men can
Big
relax. in
spoon,
that
bigger
situation.
spoon.
Just 2 spoons. Just 2 big spoons. Just
Just 2 big spoons and a couple of forks.
And chopsticks.
That's it. Are you a teaspoon or a tablespoon? I'm a serving spoon. mate.
Anyway, Andy, your choice for favourite 1986 bot.
I don't care about that now. I'm just picturing me and Paul in that. Anyway, moving on. Right, is it me? Right. So I will show the box first. So I've gone for a choice. My big transformer of that year was Ultra Magnus, but obviously I knew Pete you were going to be doing Ultra Magnus, so I went for the other one that really excited me on that year, and this is the box for him. So this is Cyclonus's box from 1986. It is a bit beaten up, but this was picked up for me by the wife when we were on holiday in Scarborough, of all bloody places, about 10 years ago. And I think she paid 50 quid for it. And it also did come, not just the box, with this extremely minty fresh G1 Cyclonus with all of his stickers on. It's hard to see because it's not focusing very well, but it would be Cyclonus. In the film, my first movie bot that I remember getting, I think I got 2 for my birthday in August, and it was Scourge and Retgar. And they were my first movie bots. But as much as I love Scourge, because it's a wonderful toy, as Jamie correctly pointed out before, of the 2 of them, I was into jets, and Cyclonus just looked more like a jet. So I wanted Cyclonus, and I got him for that Christmas, along with Ultra Magnus, and I'm sure there was a couple of others. But it's just... it's Cyclonus, man. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. If you've never had a G1 Cyclonus, I think Graham, you were looking for one. I know Graham's in the chat. It's just such a great toy. Yes, it's got its limitations. Yes, he's got his daft massive rabbit ears. Yes, the fists are ridiculously comically big, but that's just part of the design of it. But it's still just such a charm to the toy. Such a charm to it. And yeah, I can't describe. I know. I mean, as an adult, I remember looking on the TF wiki and I looked up all my favorite Transformers and looking up Cyclonus, and you realize how the toy designers were given an original design, and they went from that. And then of course, what we see on the screen is very different. But he's just badass. He's just a great toy, and that jet mode, which I will transform him into, is just freak. I think I will. Will you break? You won't break on me, will you? I don't know why I'm talking to him. He's not going to answer me.
Why run the risk?
No, because Transformers are designed to be transformed. And there's creaking. There's creaking. So we're almost there. Just relax and let it happen, Cyclonus.
Can we
It's like surgery.
Don't fight
Live
it.
on
Can somebody
TV.
play some sexy music?
You know, I like my ice extra cold. Ooh, ice.
Jim, do you want to go to the bathroom and French kiss?
What about Sulu? Where is he?
Sulu's dead. Show me your gums. Oh, yeah.
Every time they crack me up. Anyway, there you go.
Oh,
Cyclonus.
nice.
And it's, So, it was, of all places, it was in a random little secondhand toy shop in Scarborough. And yes, he's got the legs underneath. Fucking, it was G1, what do you want? But just, I mean, honestly,
gorgeous.
Like Moff, if you're watching, I know it might cost a bit to get a good copy, but it's worth it. It's just
looks like he's smiling. He's like smiling there in the middle, like smiling.
I still don't think they've topped, to look above it, the jet mode that you got with the G1. Just that's like, what do you call it? The silhouette, whatever you call it, looks amazing. Obviously, don't turn it around and see the legs. But if you just had that, is just. And every time, I think, Alexis, you referenced it a minute ago. Every time I looked at it when I was a kid, I just saw Galvatron flying it. And there's a big debate as well. There's big debate. If you've watched the Triple Takeover or listened to the Triple Takeover episode they did on the 86 movie, there's big debate about whether Cyclonus actually had a speaking role in the film. And there's a line, which is the one you said, I think, Alexis, that everybody thinks is Cyclonus about, do you want me to get Ultra Magnus? And they actually got the bloke from the Space Bridge is Paul Hitchens, who has copies of the original scripts, and in the script it's down as being Scourge, not Cyclonus, that says
I
that.
thought Cyclonus said we belong to him now.
No, that was Scourge too. Except this is why people get confused, because the voice sounds different. So the voice that says, do you want me to gut Ultra Magnus, sounds very different to the voice that then Scourge uses when he says, but we belong to him. And that's part of why there's been confusion over the years. But apparently it was
on the screen.
It goes.
I know, I'm telling you what's in the script. If you want to argue with it, then Rob Fried.
With his mouth moving. Why would you do that?
Well, Cyclonus isn't moving his mouth because Cyclonus is flying. He's in jet mode with Galvatron.
No, not when Galvatron's got the pain. He's got the headache, and Cyclonus is helping him up. Going, remember, we belong to him now.
No, Scourge says that. Watch it now, seriously.
We belong to him.
Oh, wine.
I need more wine. I'll be back in a minute. More wine as well.
Wine. Let's move on anyway.
I'm getting some more wine. They want me to...
Anyone else to go? Or is that everyone?
It's everyone.
That's everyone. That's it.
Honorary mentions? Honorary mentions?
Nah. Go on, do your honorary mention because you've obviously thought about this.
Metroplex.
Yes.
Remember getting the Christmas big box. I remember.
Right, time.
All the things you could attach to him. Broke in the middle. Waist snapped. I've got four of them at home. All broken waist.
Yeah, the waist
one
snapped.
Now in the box, which is still mint. I'm not taking it.
They fixed it. They did fix it on a later version, and apparently, if you look at the wheels on it, the later versions that had the plastic wheels should have a stronger waist than the original versions that had the rubber wheels. Another bit of useless trivia. Well, not useless, but
Paul, can you share this screen? That's my only mention as well. And to be honest, there's the original G1 Metroplex. They are all in his glory with misaligned stickers applied like a pro, because you don't want to do it too good. So there he is there, and a fantastic Transformer.
Look how minty white he is.
Yeah,
I know. Just like my teeth, we keep them clean.
But like literally, it's a block, isn't it? It
genuinely
is.
That's what gives his beauty, and for a block, he's actually less block like when some of the smaller Transformers, because the arms move up and down, the legs can move and stuff like that. He's the head goes up and down and stuff. I mean, it's quite cool. The guns, the panels, all that stuff opens out. The fact that all the guns go and form 6 gun, and then you've got the little row, which I've got those guys complete. The little tank dude. I mean, he is a playset, and it's like sometimes I think with the modern Titans, apart from obviously the latest interpretation, which fingers crossed, they lost that gimmick of being a playset. But the latest Titan that's coming looks like they're sort of bringing that back, because that's what I think sometimes the Titan is. It shouldn't just be a big huge Transformer. It should be a playset, and
damn right.
And that's what Metroplex was, and I think we've always talked that because we've got Metroplex, and the next time it'll be Scorpionox, which we'll all be gushing over and talking about, etc. But it's just a fantastic box, nice and colourful. The missile launcher thing works. It's just brilliant, and it's in.
Well, it was different. It was different to Trypticon. The playset, he said, because he can attach all the limbs to him and the little minicons, but Trypticon, I don't think he had the ports, did he? Because where the black guns are,
I never actually owned the G1 with Trypticon, so I honestly don't know. And
okay,
with me it was Metroplex, and his arch nemesis as a kid for me was Scorpionox.
So I didn't know many people who had Trypticon, but I think you're right. I think you'd have Metroplex versus Scorpionox, because not many people I knew had Trypticon. I can't think of anyone. And Fortress Maximus, nobody had.
Yeah, so I often wished in the comics we got to see Trypticon versus Scorpionox, because that's, to me, Metroplex versus Scorpionox, because that's the battles I played as a kid. That's
So I think Metroplex and Trypticon were bigger than Scorpionox and Fort Max, because Fort Max and Scorpionox were battle stations.
In the comics, they definitely were a bit. In the cartoon, it's a bit up in the air, isn't it? Apart from the Japanese cartoon, which downscaled them size, but not with the proper.
But there's no other cartoon, is there? There's no
Rebirth. They were this, if not bigger than Metroplex.
In
the Rebirth cartoon, but there were massive big battle stations. The Japanese cartoon, they were smaller. Rebirth, Freaking huge. You saw when he transformed into fucking Scorponok, and he had
Go back and have a look again at the scale. I
I
don't think
did,
they were.
and I remembered it's like etched into my memory.
Cool,
pickle
right.
We are talking
Jimmy.
about 87
You
bots.
Pair of little
We can
pickles.
discuss
86. We're talking about 86. Next week's 87.
Wait for it next week, lads.
Are we right to the socials, Mr. Jamie?
Yes.
Cool.
I'm
I
just
can't play
gonna
the
share
fucking
them.
thing though, can I? Because it gives us.
Oh no!
I'll
don't,
sing.
no.
I'll play
Right.
something
I'll sing
else.
it.
I'll play something else.
It's all right, I'll sing it.
Well, unmute
Is
yourself
it
and I'll play
though?
this and sing over it.
Let go of my goddamn arm.
Didn't sing. Right, it's time for the socials.
Yes.
You muted me.
Share away, Paul.
He said unmute yourself and
on Twitter, Spiderfather's been sharing that box set, which with Ghost of Starscream with Waspinator, the Takara box set, and I've already got 3 Waspinators, and the box set was something like 68, 69 quid, so I'd be paying that just for Ghost Starscream, so I didn't go for it. But I am so tempted to just maybe look for, maybe even at TF Nation, maybe pick up the box set in a moment of spontaneous splurging, which I can't be held responsible for, because I do like the idea of getting this figure, and yeah, so I'm a bit jealous of Spider-Father Melshade, who was showing this, and although I retweeted it, I didn't really want to look at the pictures too much because I want to fight the urge of spontaneously buying it. Chronicles of Cliff Jumper, I just liked, well, I didn't like it. It's just so he told me a story where he said he found it a bit hard to transform his. The legs were quite hard to sort of move up into the crotch area, so you had to sort of disassemble and hammer it a bit. You know, so just thinking, it just reminds me of that time when you do get Transformers. If you can, you should transform as quick as you can, just to make sure there's no sort of unsightly problems there.
Do you remember Cast?
Yes.
Cast, anyone? The band? They were good, weren't they?
Oh, not when you get broken up or something.
Stand, storm going through your head, seeing many colours, but the only one I'm seeing through is red.
Is that the one that says walk away, walk away?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they did Walk Away. That was a good tune.
There's about 4 good songs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember Cast. Yeah, I do actually. Yeah. Well, yes.
And
yes.
here we have got Ryan Burton, you know, doing some commissions. An excellent artist sometimes, and he's quite cool. And sometimes it's because of the way the algorithms work in Twitter and stuff like that. Is you miss a lot of this cool stuff out there. But you know, I quite like his. You know, when I see his pictures and stuff, they're quite distinct and you know, quite cool. So you should definitely give this guy a look out when you can. Even get a commission maybe. Crimson, do we deserve more G2? And I was going to answer that. Then I thought, Twitter rules, you should never answer an open question like that. Never. It's just, you're just asking for trouble.
What other Twitter rules are there, Jamie, apart from that one? Like, you must have a list of Twitter rules.
Well, I've actually got the entire book here, so I don't need to remember, which goes to show you there. And I was collecting some of the G2, but then I stopped at Grimlock because I've already got the obviously wonderful Hasbro Grimlock, which is based on the cartoon. Then I got the Mirrorverse Grimlock, which Mirrorverse Grimlock,
Shattered Glass,
Shattered Glass Grimlock. And then I was thinking, oh, I now need to get this Grimlock as well. And I thought, no, I've got so many Grimlocks, I'm going to have to control myself and then ignore people putting the pictures up because it does look really nice and the colours do shine. So I was looking at that and I was thinking, because I've got all the other figures here, the only one I'm missing is Grimlock, but I thought I need to stop, I need to hold the line. But yeah, I like that. How do you pronounce that? Enutabi. Enutabi. I just like that picture. Just because Pete did a really awesome picture, and then I saw that and I went, that's quite cool as well. And I like the background he used, and he's done the review.
It's like a Scottish person asking about a cat. Hey, new tabby. Just say it quickly.
Hey, new tabby.
That's probably the best accent I've ever done. I think I'm going to retire now. Cheers, everyone. See you. Never.
Ian Chronicles of Cliff Jumper again, but this time I just loved that photo because of the sense of scale. I don't know, you get this idea that they're massive bots and you're a little human looking
That's a great
up there,
picture.
You know, so I just, and I know there's so many photos that are superb out there and I could be putting them on, but I was just, if you've got something, a good photo, you spot something that's really good, do me a favour and tag the show and maybe help our algorithm start to see so much of those wonderful talents out there. TFU Kind from the Graham, he's got a second part coming out there. He does such wonderful stuff. I recommend you to subscribe and maybe treat yourself to something like that. A true sort of Transformers fanzine magazine, and a wonderful, wonderful lad. Wheelie's Hat, just always putting Wheelie's Hat, Wild Wheel's Hat and different Transformers. Quirky, I kind of like that. It keeps things ticking along. It's good when you look at your feed, just to have good Transformer nonsense there. Soundwave there with Ultra Magnus and Jazz. I don't know. I didn't look too much into it to see what versions of they were, but I thought Alexis would know. They're obviously Masterpiece.
It's Masterpiece M22 Ultra Magnus rather than the externals, and it's then the Fans Toys Jive, aka Jazz.
Oh, awesome! And they look wonderful together, don't they?
Yes,
they really do.
They do look good.
And then obviously you've got some more Blaster there. Someone buying Blaster just because, well, you have to. It's the 86 line. And I think some people were suggesting, do you think Hasbro will just start releasing a lot of the versions they've already brought out in 86 again, maybe with slightly different paint decors? If not, Bumblebee, Buzzworthy, sometimes they end up being for some stupid reasons.
Are you saying Hasbro are only in this for the money and that they would just do that to us?
Yeah, you're right. I was wrong there. Hasbro are a noble organisation.
Yeah, you're full of shit. What all the other third party companies do it for free, do they?
Yeah. They do it out of the goodness of their hearts.
They are a charity. They are a charity.
Went down then.
We don't deserve.
They give the money to the poor. Make no money on that.
Yeah. Tunnel, Andy, you will have this Starscream eventually.
Oh, sweet Jesus!
Look good there.
It does. I saw that photo from Plastic Crack. Yeah, and everybody who's got it is going on about how great it is, and I'm just sitting here.
Well, do you know what? I'll give you some negative remarks about it if you want, and that'll cheer you
up.
You're
all right.
I've got it. I've got it, and I'll give you the honest truth. I'll give you the lowdown in this figure. He's absolutely amazing. He's so good.
You tease. You absolute tease.
And you've got to think it's been an act of God, an act of divinity, the reason you don't have your Starscream now.
I mean, it's an act of fucking Hasbro. I know, I actually wanted it, and I haven't got that. Damn you!
I just I keep seeing the G1 Optimus Prime, and Kapow keeps saying, "Oh, we've got more in stock," and I keep thinking, "I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it." And I keep seeing it, and I'm thinking, "How do you make it look that good?" I'm going to have
Mine's
to
on its way. Mine's on its way. I didn't realize I had an ab crunch there. That looks pretty impressive. I'm looking forward to getting mine.
And obviously there was a sad thing about Mark Bright, responsible for that iconic Soundwave cover, Shockwave cover, who's now passed back in, was it March? I can't recall. And I thought that was a wonderful sort of send off to say like an image that has never been surpassed. You know, because if there's a Transformer image which everyone is trying to copy in some way, is that image there, and it almost captures the evil of what Shockwave was, because Shockwave in the comics was just cold, cynical, just evil. And then you had some cosplayers from TF Nation. You know, you see all these TF Nation images coming up, and I just thought, cool stuff, especially since I wasn't really aware very much of what was going on in Saturday. So I never saw it.
We met them in the morning, didn't we, Alexis? They were really nice.
Yeah, we chatted to them inside in the hall, and they were nice people. We also persuaded them to buy some toys. So you know, there's that.
I was sitting with them on Saturday night as well, with a couple of beers, so it was good. Good people.
Were they aware you were there?
You went to bed, mate. You were gone. You were long gone. You were on Saturday.
So they were gone when I was gone. I know. Bullshit. No,
I was up with Alexis. He definitely was talking to. He was remaining. I remember.
I feel there's more to that comment than Paul.
Yeah.
He definitely was around them.
Definitely someone in the bar. Yes, so they're someone else
stop
there.
Teasing me for Christ's sake.
And good, perfect working limb order. And robots in your eyes. I don't know. I mean, sometimes you see a lot of so many people out there got podcasts and stuff, and you don't always have the time to look these things up. And I just thought, yeah, it'd be good just to give these guys a wee bit of a shout out and see what people think of them. And then we've got Dave Wallace hitting the toy photography market. I love that hat. But yeah. And then you got some more from the World Wide Web, you know, of all the sort of some of the mini bots put together there as well. And that's just quite cool. I just like looking at the pictures, to be honest.
The Wobble
and Andy Gold. Me and Andy Gold both suffered the same fate. I forgot I'd pre-ordered this with Indie Man Toys. And obviously I bought it. So this will be coming to me on Saturday, maybe Saturday or Monday next week. Yeah. So I've got the Soundwave Megatron.
Oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, I read Andy Gold's post, and I went, haha, and I went, oh fuck, email. Oh no.
Life is so hard.
Some people call me a baller, but I don't.
Victim. Don't let me give me your rankings.
People call him the Space Cowboy.
Yeah. And then Toy Box Soapbox is talking about the little Ghostbuster retro figures which I've got, which are like G.I. Joe size, 3.75. And I just thought, oh, that's quite cool. That's quite awesome. I just love that. And obviously Matt Ferguson's wonderful artwork of the album of Transformers music, which it's already got people doing their own versions of this as well. So yeah, wonderful, stupendous. And then even more, someone showing Shattered Glass Optimus Prime with a trailer on there, and I like the idea of that. Different trailers looking cool. Just the adventurous things you could see out there. And double dealer for Andy, because I just thought, you know what?
Yeah, that'll cheer me up about not having Cybertron Megatron. Fuck's sake.
And that's done by that Morgan dude. I think he's from America. He's always putting up good pictures and that, getting a lot of early stuff as well. He's buying
got the same set as Alexis, doesn't he? The background set, the Lego-y type arc.
Oh yeah,
the new he has. That's it.
There you go.
So that's what was out there on the
which is on sale at Show Z right now. Actually, it was interested.
What do we get from that? I don't.
Fuck all, Paul.
Paul, we've already been over this.
If you get 0, if you divide it by 2, and then divide it again by 10, that's what you fucking get.
Maths. We get 1/6 of actually we get 1/5 of fuck all. Alexis.
Yeah.
Alexis will eventually benefit from this.
We may change.
We will remain.
Alexis, it's all the latest and greatest
we may
toys.
change who supports us in the future. It might not be Show Z. Right, cool, Will. So that brings us to our discussion tonight, which is, guys, can you take them through it? Because I'm really confused on the chat about what we're doing. Something about
right. Shall we start with the first thing? There's 3 things. Please, so we'll start with the first, and then we'll lead into the other 2.
Can I press the button on the
Of course you can.
Cheers.
No.
We now return to the Transformers.
You have no power.
Shut it, you tart. Right. So the first, basically, there's 3 little discussions we're going to have here. The first one was about leaks, which not because we're men of a certain age, but Ian Arrowfire had suggested we have a little bit of a discussion about all the leaks we've been having of figures. Which, to be fair, I mean, it's been a lot of Hasbro stuff recently, but does apply to third party as well, because we do see some leaks of third party stuff before they're supposed to be kind of shown officially. I think with third party stuff it's probably more deliberate, but with Hasbro, arguable. So there's been a lot of debate online. People like Sixo have been very vocal about the fact that, probably because they know the design team, that Hasbro designers and engineering team are actually quite upset about these leaks, because they spend literally years creating these toys, creating all the promo stuff for it, getting ready to do the reveal, and then like a week or a day beforehand, all of a sudden there's photos of it all over the interwebs. So, yeah, what do we think? How do we feel? Do we think it's right? Do we think it's wrong? Do we give a shit? Do we not? Do we think Hasbro cares?
I feel like being contentious, just because I feel like, because I'm Scottish, we obviously take the opposite, point of view, no matter what it is. Like, for example, we would argue for the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. After all, the Romans had to uphold the law, and it brought much needed work to carpenters, which Jesus
Much needed
Christ would
counter
appreciate.
arguments.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Anyway,
so once you've said that, it makes it much easier to say. But I think leaks are part and parcel of any industry, and it's what drives interest forward. And I think even if they didn't want the leaks to be out there, I would think Hasbro would be leaking it anyway. It'll be someone in marketing leaking it. I mean, if anything, it's not debate. If anything, you know, Hasbro should maybe showing this information out before they start sending images to places like Amazon and Walgreens, etc., where these images sometimes come from.
That is true. We should point that out, that some of these leaks we've had, particularly recently, have not come about because of some, you know, bloke on the internet with a dodgy pixelated photo. Some of them have come from within those companies that you've just mentioned there, like Target. Was that their 4-pack? Where somebody had they had their screen monitor. They'd obviously found the pictures Hasbro had sent. They'd taken photos of it and popped it straight onto the internet.
If I was in that situation, I'd probably be doing that as well with my hands shaking.
Yeah. Well, we'd be doing it. The thing is, as friends, we'd probably do it to each other, wouldn't we? We'd send it. We'd say, oh my God, have you seen this? But then that always gets forwarded on to other friends, which gets forwarded on. And then the next thing you know, you've lost control of the picture. So it's not always intentional, but then it happens.
Whenever someone says, I'm going to show you this, don't show anyone else. There's always one. If you don't know who it is, it's fucking you.
And some of the comments I've had from Hasbro employees is that sometimes the information's leaked officially, but they weren't even made aware of it. And they're sometimes not sure when they can show the images. And I think sometimes what they should do is just allow the engineers and the toy photographers, once they've done it, is just to say, get it out there fast. Go a special preview image of what's coming, get the excitement going. And I think, you know, that will put the Instagram followers on the accounts that maybe, well, I don't say deserve it, but the talent and the blood and sweat behind a lot of these wonderful toys. And I think that's an easy way to handle it.
Pete, you have a point, mate.
In a world that we live in now, and the amount of money that Hasbro will invest, I'm very cynical about them being accidental. I don't buy it for a second. I think if it genuinely is genuine, you know, then, you know, the likes of Mark and, you know, and BMAC and Evan, they work on some great stuff, and they don't probably deserve to have the thunder stolen. But I do not buy for a second.
Wait a minute. How come when I said that, Alexis is going, no, it's not. When you say it, Alexis is going,
because Alexis isn't really listening now. he was testing out on his phone. He was thinking we couldn't see the reflection in his glasses. Yeah. Glasses are dangerous.
Yeah, two burgers, please.
I was looking at what
Where is they have Germans on the kebabs down here?
That's my take on it.
A wise take, Pete.
I do agree, Pete, and I do agree with you, JP. I think the thing is, though, I get why the design team gets pissed off, because they literally put years into organizing all this stuff and getting ready for this big reveal. And I think now, because so many of them are fans, they're excited to show us. They want to show us. And then that thunder just gets stolen from them a little bit, which you can sense that they're a bit pissed off about. And I think 6-0, his comments about it will probably come from an informed position, because he is, you know, as he occasionally mentions, he is now mates with BMAC and all the rest of the team from Hasbro. But I'd be lying if I said sat here and said I'm completely against these leaks that I keep sharing as news on our Facebook site or on Twitter or whatever. I think sometimes the excitement of just seeing some of this stuff, you just like, oh my God, have you seen this? This is incredible. Like I said, if it would be the same if it was sharing it with you guys. It's just that when we share it, we've got however many thousand followers, you know, whatever it is, hundreds of followers, and you're doing it that way. I do agree. I totally get why they get upset. And I think if it was me, I'd get upset. Plus, there is that element of the cost to Hasbro, because if these things keep getting leaked and Hasbro are literally spending potentially hundreds of thousands to kind of build up for this big reveal, and then it's just leaked like that, will that going forward have an effect? And maybe we won't get the communication that we've had from Hasbro in recent years. I don't know, but I love seeing these new stuff. I just think sometimes maybe Hasbro needs to be quicker with it. Maybe it doesn't need to be a big official thing. Hasbro just get it out there.
I've got something else to say, but I think someone else should make another point first before I go.
I think Paul's probably got some really great points to make right now. Paul?
I would say that I think that these Transformers leaks are actually, no one really cares, like outside of the people get on their hobby horse, like the ones about Prime versus Prime. I really don't care that he has the leaks before it's Transformers. It's not a movie. I don't learn about a script before anyone else. Yeah, I'm alright with it.
Beautiful.
I think Hasbro gets their positive from it.
I would add that as well. That Swoop wasn't leaked, right? It was.
They managed to keep that one secret.
The world's worst kept secret because everyone knew, like, no one was surprised it was coming out, right? Like these, like, you're surprised about the newer, like the figures, the more obscure figures, right? The figures which everyone expects, right? Everyone's like, and everyone likes it. It's anticipation building about it, but are you really surprised about, like, when they announced, for example, Sea Spray or Wind Charger? Are you really going to be surprised? Is it really a leak? No, you expect it to come down like somewhere. It's just when's it going to be released, right?
Skywalk made the good point, didn't he? That he said that the issue that Hasbro are generally trying it. Sorry, just pouring some wine. Now the fan streams are just what we need. And nothing else before. It is like they only care now, don't they?
Yeah, that's what I was saying about the communications, because we might lose that. And that's why they care, because they spent money on that, haven't they? You'll know as somebody working in business.
I think that's why we made the point, though, when we got to the fan streams, and I think they started to do it in the last three, not the first one, we're getting to speak to the designers behind that, we're getting to see the thought processes behind that, so they're talking about it, and that's a real fun aspect, something which we didn't have before.
But would you watch it? Would you not watch it?
I would watch it because we knew,
I think
what was coming,
so the same amount of people would watch it.
And I was full of joy because that's what I was there for. That was my expectations, because we know about what the leaks are going on. And I often think about the movie industry, like Sony, for example. I had like a cousin out in Singapore who worked for Sony in Japan, and they would leak. They would leak the movies, and they did that for one big reason. They leaked the movies to make sure that the criminals weren't going in there infecting the staff to steal the movies in the first place. So they leaked that, made them out in torrents, put them out there, and it saved them millions, and it also saved any of the staff getting hurt. And it almost takes the money away from the criminals because the information's out there. And they do that with some computer games as well. They'll just put them out there in freaking torrents and ask people to pay for them. And often, which the research they found was, the people who tend to torrent and stuff or watch the stuff will end up paying for it in other means and will buy the merchandise where the real money is, you know. So there's lots of things to think about. Sometimes a lot of people who might work for the industry are not privy to. And I think in some cases with Hasbro, but I think the leaks are good. It drives the marketing. You know, it might not be brilliant. They kept Swoop under there, but I often think in Swoop's case, there might have been some people who might have leaked information, thought, you know what, I'm not going to do it this time. I'm going to hold back.
Well, it's not just that though, Jamie. It's the fact, I think to your point as well. Like when you get closer to the creators and the designers and the engineers who put these things together, right, as well. That process builds the hype. I just thought about, again, I was listening, thinking about what you're saying. I don't think that the leaks actually have a detriment to the sales figures. If anything, it goes.
Yeah,
I would say. Oh, I know. Sorry. Let me continue my thought process. I think you know it's coming. People might be able to budget for that, right? They go, oh well, they can pick and choose, right? But I guess when you have the sort of the pulse days and they have the reveals with the actual official one, that's when it's verified. These things they come in and they'll give you a date when it's going to come out as well. Like all will be released, all pre-orders will be up at the end of today, or pre-orders will be up at the end of the month, and it verifies that for you as well. Like before you have that, right? It's still not official because there could be something in the background which we are not aware about during the engineering process where it is stalled potentially, and that might have happened to Swoop potentially in the background or another figure as well, which man. So the leaks are there, right? But until you actually get the official, you know, the days, you don't know about it. Again, it adds to the anticipation. I think people again within the fandom are very excited about that.
That's what we all said. That's what we all said from the start. That's what Pete said. That's what I said at the very start.
And what you were saying about the whole Sony piece, right? About the torrent downloaders and people doing they don't buy the merch. This is the fucking merch. This is it, right? This is what they want us to buy,
the
right?
Sony example is just like, it's a lot of people who work for these big industries who are not privy to why they do these things. And
I get what you're saying.
And there's sometimes like the legalities that people are not privy to, because there's a lot of people that speak pish about Prime versus Prime and have no fucking clue how the British law system works and how they could easily report them themselves. And you know, there's special terminology, and it's not because he doesn't do what they suggest. And you got some of these people you look on Twitter, they're buying directly their stuff from the factories. So you've got the factories who can take the pictures, and because they've already got it in stock. And sometimes Hasbro, I think, if they don't want the leaks, they need to release information faster. And I'd not expect retailers like you get in Chile and Canada who say, oh, you need to hold it in your stock for like a month. I mean, if you look at cities right now, no one has stock. No one can hold that stock anymore because the space is gone. So Hasbro is literally harming toy shops, which they expect to sell their stuff, by asking them, oh, you've got to hold on to it now. You know, it should be getting the stock and shipping it as fast as they can, because it's taking away money from them, and it's harming their business.
That's the supply chain issue.
Which Hasbro, which is the result of, you know.
We've talked about
before we get too bogged down, we should probably try and move it on a little bit.
But that's a source of some of our leaks, isn't it? That's how we see the Starscream.
Some of the factory stuff is coming from there, and from companies where somebody internally has set it on. But that led into the second part of our discussion, which was the fact that we had leaked the Power Master Optimus Prime Masterpiece and MPG scale, which we are taking to mean two different scales. So is that a good leak? Are we happy about the way the figure looks? Is anybody concerned about anything they've seen so far with the figure? I know, Alexis,
I'm a little bit concerned. It looks good. It looks decent. The two stacks in its alt mode are far too high. Like, I think Visible Hand Syndrome in the original G1 toy, they would have hidden those down, or you could have put them down, and it's being a bit of a slave to what the G1 toy looked like. You wouldn't have had those big stacks up there. I don't know. I think the Fans Hobby one was it was a little bit stylized. It was a lot beefier. It was literally like if you got Power Master Prime, and just made him like 2016's Power Master Prime, and that looks fine. Whereas this is a masterpiece version of the G1 toy, and it's accented all those G1 elements, which it downplayed. The Fans Hobby one downplayed all those bits. You don't have two big stacks sticking out, and he's a bit beefier. He looks more modern, and for me, I don't know. Even the Titans Return one was beefier. It wasn't really like, you look at the legs on the Power Master Prime. The legs look really long. The Titans Return one was really beefy, and it's more
with horrendous feet,
crappy feet, but nice legs compared to this one. That's like very blue and long legs. So I've got my concerns. I would like, if you said to me, would you buy Takara's Power Master Prime? 100%. Yep, no problem. Still definitely get that. I've got a slight worry about it. And I've only got that because I'm seeing half-cut photos from a leak and not the full photo.
That's like Spider-Father's point, wasn't it? That's some of the negative things about leaks is because the images are so bad.
Yeah.
It can almost kill a toy before it's released, because you think, oh, it's going to have this, and suddenly there's untruths being said about it. There's misconceptions out there until we have seen it finished. Or it's like Ultra Magnus. Remember, people going, oh, he's not been transformed, fucking right, you know. And then once people started to get it in hand, you saw proper photos coming out of Ultra Magnus. You went, oh my god, this toy is sex. This toy, this is orgasmic.
Because he's in the chat.
Do you think
sorry,
that? No, go Pete, you go first.
No, go on. You were talking before.
Pete, go first.
I was just going.
To be fair, Alexis has said quite a lot, and you haven't, Pete. You go. You've forgotten now, haven't you?
No. I'd go against it, because ultimately these leaks, the leaks come out. It's a bit of a shit picture. It's grainy, etc. So people go, oh, it doesn't look very good. But it's not up for pre-order, and you haven't lost the opportunity to buy it. So when it comes out for pre-order and you improve pictures, it doesn't matter what you've fucking seen before. And I think you're going to see the same with this. At the moment, it's supposition. You know, is it just the cab that's masterpiece, and is the cab and the trailer MPG? You know, are we going to get a masterpiece trailer? Is it all masterpiece? Is it just the cab that's MPG? We don't know. But what Hasbro are doing is getting all this free marketing where they're buying building the anticipation, people getting excited. So as soon as the pre-order is live, people are going to flood to get it because of that
For the
adrenaline.
pants.
Yes.
If they haven't already.
And
Exactly.
it is you can pre-order on Shozy already, by the way.
Yeah, you can pre-order on Shozy.
Using
Using the code TF Show.
You can. To your point, Paul, do you think that you would want your Power Master Prime to be the same size as your Ultra Magnus? And second question, do you think that the MPG Power Master Prime will be the same size as Studio Series Ultra Magnus?
I think I'd want my Power Master Prime to be a little bit taller than the is it MP22 Ultra Magnus Takara. I'm okay with that as long as he's a little bit taller, even an inch. Which
chunkier as well, or sort of
chunkier because that's quite chunky, isn't it? It's not a thin Ultra Magnus.
It's
a chunky one. It's got some beef to it. So yeah, I think a really thin. I think basically, KFC version to me is too slender, and the new MP one reeks of that.
I will say, I don't know if I'd say it reeks, but I will say, even I looked at the combined mode and thought, that's looking quite long compared to like that chunkier. And again, it's because we're old men and we love the G1 version, but I always think of Optimus Prime as having that girth to go with the height, not just, the length.
If you haven't seen KFC Power Master Prime,
I've seen many KFCs.
And Fans Hobby Power Master Prime. We have a video. We've done the comparison video, so go check that out. It's on our channel somewhere else along here. We've got the comparison shots behind them. We're one team. We're one team.
Don't get it.
Oh, we're one team now. It's funny because I don't remember that code benefiting me. Now we're a team. Facts. Anyway,
remember
I think it looks really good. I am excited, but I don't think it looks perfect, and I want to see more proper official photos without writing all over them. And I want to make a judgment then, and possibly it will be a masterpiece, but I will have to buy.
Great question.
But
can they remember the stuff?
The missing link Megatron was a complete. It was a Photoshop. Somebody knocked it up after the Prime had come out, and it was.
But Damien Duff, what a player!
He was crap by the time he came to Newcastle. He was knacked after being at Chelsea. He came to us, was relegated, went to Fulham. Screw him.
Hilary Duff, what an actress! She's a great actress.
That's a different issue.
Weren't they the same? Were they related?
Probably.
Unlikely.
I would get MPG Power Master Optimus Prime. Is it going to be a full working Power Master like the Power Master inserts into the area it did before?
Yes,
it's not going to be
they've got the it's on the photos. They have High Q or whatever you want to call him.
He has to be bought. True Transformer fans will have to at least get the MPG version.
That's the only thing about Transformers Master Force that annoyed me was that you had Ginrai, was it? And then he combined with the Transdector that just happened to look exactly like Optimus Prime, and there was literally no backstory as to why. There was no explanation.
There was actually.
No, there wasn't, because they were talking about this on Triple Takeover last week. There was no explanation as to why it was Optimus Prime.
He was a trucker. He just had a truck.
No, that's not an explanation as to why it's Optimus Prime. That just means he drives a truck.
It was like it was like what was
I'm looking for it. I'm going for the kick button. Don't make me do it. Because it wasn't me.
Didn't you see that last week? I've got fucking deja vu.
You stole my glory.
2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago he said that. He said he's a trucker, and I was like,
he's a trucker. Anyway, oh shit.
That's right. It's like what was the 80s, no 70s one with the red Bandit? He had Bandit and he used to drive around.
Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah, it's like he was Smokey. He was Smokey, mate. He was a trucker like Smokey. That's what it was. Like,
Smokey wasn't a trucker. He drove the car.
We've had this conversation before. Oh gosh.
I thought Bandit was
His mate drove the truck. Snowman drove the truck. Oh, there's a discussion for some time. Smokey and the Bandit. Classic film.
Okay, so what's the next bit of the discussion?
Right. We probably need him back for the next bit because it's basically DX9 have come back from the dead. They're like Jesus because it was Easter, and they're back from the dead. They have risen again. Nobody asked them to, but they're back. So Anybody else? Any other companies coming back? Anything we want to see from them? I think that was basically the gist of it. Wasn't it?
I mean, so DX9 were originally designers, and they didn't have a factory, and people stole the designs and released their bots right originally, and they had to go out of business. So
hang on, a third-party company having their designs stolen. Scandalous.
That was back in the day, right? and they released a number of solid figures. Pete, have you ever owned any DX9 figures?
I don't think I have. No, I haven't. No.
Again, Carrie is probably one of them. DX9 obviously did the Stunticons. They're a very solid version of the Stunticons. Their last version of the Stunticon, so they released Drag Strip, and they got so pissed off at the end, they just released it as Drag Strip. Didn't give a shit. They said, screw it, we're going out of business. We're going to release it. So you can buy, and those bots actually stood up probably bot for bot better than the extravagant versions. Their combined version, they used the trailer, like the modern Hasbro Stunticons as well. It wasn't painted great, the trailer at all. That was the challenge. The trailer was the weaker part of it, but the individual bots themselves were very strong all together as well. Even Motormaster as well. So there was criticism about the bot, but that was their last one. So DX9 done a lot of good bots. They came back recently with their version of Double Dealer, which I know a lot of people do love, the Legends version, and now they're hitting the headlines again doing bots which have been having design uplift for 10 years. I know it's the 84 bot line, but they do look decent, and it'd be impressive to see where they go next. And they are going after ground that at the moment no one else to go after, because you always hear fan stories, extra spots, head to head. I know, Andy, you like Fans Hobby as well, because obviously they're going after a new.
Yeah, they're all right. I don't mind, but Fans Hobby.
So, but it's nice. I think it's really nice to have these guys back. And I was going to look at there are other third party people like Fans Project maybe, who are a little bit more at the game. I was trying to think of other ones as well, which haven't been around for a while, really. So, but DX9 were the ones that mainly stood out, right? What's going on in the chat? What am I missing in the chat? I'm missing something in the chat,
just some random nonsense. Dave Nipples has pointed out this is all but damn Legacy Gears. It's a lovely time, which I feel, Dave, like you just want to talk about Gears again. Just getting that feeling.
So, I know. I was just daydreaming about Gears when Alexis was talking. I just disappeared into a dream of running.
I just imagine you staring into the distance while
holding Gears hands as we go skipping.
This applies to two things, right? Which companies would you like to see come back as a third party potentially? Like Fans Project One. Fans Project did were the A company so far done Monstructor. They did the Monstructor Binder. They did Dino King as well. Fans Project did. They did the original Dinobots as well.
Denver, the last dinosaur.
He's my
and again, from Hasbro loyalists, what bots do you think would need a refresh? Which maybe haven't had a lot of love, because there's a lot of focus at the moment on the
Photobots, dickhead. Photobots.
Wait a second. You call me out on the 84 bots, right? You guys are all getting wet for the mini bots, right? Which are always.
Wait, I've answered you, and you're still going on. Going, wait a second. I gave you an answer.
Jamie frozen for anyone else? I can't hear Jamie.
What do you? No, he hasn't frozen. You know he hasn't frozen. You are such a beast.
Apart
You'll
from
have your hand off.
Yeah, bots that have been released already, which would need an update.
Photobots, they've been released already. They need an update.
Like he's giving up on that.
When have Hasbro done that?
What?
What the fuck?
Hasbro done Photobots.
Is that
right? Is your question what bots do you want these companies to do?
I
found your conversation. I found your question very long and convoluted, and don't really get to the. Is it basically that? Yeah.
Oh, Sam's
you're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
No, I'm not.
No, Sam's killed him.
He's gone. I don't know where he's gone. I don't know where he's gone.
I was texting Sam saying he was drinking live in air and needs to be taken off.
I think he got annoyed.
He's taking his t-shirt off.
Yeah. Two nipples.
There's Alexis nipplage at
It's
8
a
o'clock.
double nipple alert.
For companies, I love Papa Toys. I thought they were good. They used to rip off all other companies, copy their designs, but then make them better. Other than that, I don't think there's anyone else I'd rather want to come back.
I don't know enough third-party companies to be able to say. I don't even know which ones have gone. I didn't know DX9 had gone, so the news they were
Very
back was
specific
literally news.
discussion. I mean, Make Toys done some good bots. They kind of went away, but Contact Shot came out under
Haven't
Make
some
Toys,
of them
but
just
they're
changed
someone
names?
else. They
Didn't some of them
do
just-
that.
Yeah, to avoid being sued and all that.
Yeah. So, I guess the summary of that discussion is that we don't know.
On all
we just
three
don't
counts.
know. We just don't know. And on that bombshell,
Do we fucking care?
is there another discussion, or is that it?
No.
No.
And we're over 2 hours. Yes.
Time to drink.
Right.
No,
Thanks so much for watching the show tonight. Head to Facebook to Transformers the Show. We will welcome you there. Please like and subscribe, as some of you have done.
It's on
and share and share
And
Head to
share.
the Twitter account as well to
Twitter,
look at
yeah.
random useless
There's a
posts.
Twitter as well.
Yes, the
and
show. There's an Instagram, but not a lot goes on that.
But no, thank you so much for watching.
On Instagram.
And do you know what I love is how many of you comment and chat in the chat, because that's absolutely
chat
amazing.
is lovely,
There's
isn't
like
it?
ones I've 769. I'm not going to say your name out because that'd be rude for me because you might have GDPR, but I know exactly who you are. It was lovely meeting you at TF Nation. Loads of people in the chat who we met at the Minicon, and we'll hopefully see you at TF UK Con and the big Transformers Nation at the end of the year. Alexis,
August.
So I'd like to get a new Rodimus Prime, anti-Rodimus Prime. We've been